So you, okay. So why would you walk it? So you could roll it down the place and you'd swing it. You're quite frankly the worst president this country has ever seen before. Oh, good one. Bet you spent all night brainstorming that. How did you play prop hunt?
Probably shortly after the vote came out.
Exactly. Well, GTA, we put the new one how long ago and haven't touched it since. That's because MLB came out. Okay, you pick 3 games to have an active series for. MLB, Heavy Rain, GTA, and prop hunt. That's 4.
And who said you?
With all respect, not that I had any in the first place. More realistic than Call of Duty. Could it be?
It is a joke. Don't watch it and run.
Better watch that too. What was the game called again? MLB The Show? You don't know this game, the game is coming up. Oh, damn it. Hell, someone's controller is dying. Who the hell is Ben? Not Florida.
I think it's pronounced McConnell.
But it's dumbass name. Hell, at least. If they have heard of it. It's a World War II game. Very big matches, and it's eerily realistic. It requires a lot of teamwork and communication. You know, for someone who seems very engaging, thank God you don't know about the Easter egg in this game. By the way, happy Easter, everybody. Easter egg. Yeah. Goat. Greatest of all time, Joe. You'll be spraying piss missiles everywhere outside the door. Idiot. How fast was that? Calm down, please. Why was it so fast?
Really? You're going to cheat?
It was a skill for walking the next guy. The hell I am. No. If that was so cheap, Donald, I don't want to win using an asshole at home. Oh, happy?
Could have just walked him.
Literally what I did, but he took one for the team. You should be thanking me. Oh my God, Donald, are you all right? Yeah, I was just imitating Joe. What? Because he choked, you know? Second and third should have had a triple on. The hell? The hell are you? You scared the shit out of me.
I was going to say, we should play Phasmophobia.
What is that? Doesn't phobia mean you're like scared of something? Phasmophobic. Oh, tell me this is some new made up.
It's a ghost hunting game.
Oh. No, please, it's too scary.
It's honestly really not.
Don't be such a bitch, Joe. What are you doing?
Yes, but there's different kinds of ghosts, and you have to use certain equipment to see if the ghosts will leave specific clues hinting at what they are. There are jinns, banshees, phantoms.
No, too nerdy for me.
Pass. What do you mean it's too nerdy?
Are we hunting Pokemon or ghosts? A ghost is a ghost, Ben. You don't have freaking glasses.
Well, where's the fun if there's nothing to figure out?
All you need to figure out is the house is haunted or not. If I found out my place is haunted, my first thought would be, oh, I wonder what kind of ghost it is. I'm getting the hell out of there, Ben. Wow. This tough guy Donald would stand up to those ghosts. I definitely would, but it wouldn't matter because they aren't real. That's a relief. I don't know what you're so relieved about, but you're practically a walking to it.
1-0. Asterisk, pop, asterisk.
Then it was just a good talk. Then I put it through the asterisk and say that.
It doesn't work like that.
Yes, it does. Look.
How do you do that?
You just used an MP3 clip and found it. What do you think? No, I didn't. I used the sound effects section on the other one. What? Snap, I didn't even notice it was there. Yeah, you can just type in a prompt and it will generate the noise. Oh, okay. Trying to put me on the spot here. Just type something in, dude. It doesn't need to be that deep. All right. Well, Ben wanted to talk, so let's do Ben, the hero, talking.
Ow?
What the hell is that? That was Ben talking. Sounded like a Minecraft villager being wrong. All right, let's start on the phone. I hope you can hear that this voice violates our condition. Why would they do that? All right, it's only Joe's voice they have a problem. I don't think I've ever had a problem with you or Joe. Not myself. I've never been with you.
Well, regardless, Joe will bring in another run for us.
That's right. You can take that to the bank. Whatever. Did you get that cough yet, Barry? Yeah, here. Ready? Yep. Give it to me.
Two different routines. A slug-covered lock brace. Lock will be sanitized. Well, adding some silica disinfectant to your routine is 99% bacteria and detergents leave behind. Do more than just clean. Sanitize. Lysol, what it takes to protect.
Oh my God, that was painful. Just a 3-pack today over. All right, a little coffee that didn't have to make any kind of noise. Gee, almost 5 stacks. Oh, barely. You were 5 now. Oh, hang on. Really?
That was funny, though.
Yeah, for you and Joe. They did it. Hasta la vida, dude. And my teammate, apparently, just found it freaking hilarious.
Things around for us since we've been a bit absent today.
Well, maybe if my teammate wasn't preoccupied, maybe. These are all AI voices and are strictly for entertainment purposes. If you think I'm playing a video game to push political views of my own, then I really need to reevaluate my life. The viewer discretion is advised. Thank you for watching Vice President Trump.
Well, we got the Elite Eight back together for back-to-back weekends of All-Star fun.
Woohoo, yeah! Football! It's July, Joe. We're not playing football. Oh, Merry Christmas then. Once again, it's July, Joe. Yeah, Christmas in July.
Enough? Geez, this is going to be bad enough with 8 people. Well, if you did it so much, why don't we just use?
Right, let's you invite us.
It's not, nothing to do with you won't specifically. It's just aggravating enough with these screen filters.
I am not a child.
Oh, please. I know 5th graders taller than you, Ben.
Why do you know 5th graders? Pluralism.
Mind your business. That's why.
Bill, you're awfully quiet.
Is that a bad thing?
Honestly, yes, probably.
Sorry, party people, trying to get verified on the hub.
Oh, my God.
I can't believe you need a form of ID now just to watch some Dale. I actually may feel bad for your wife. Hey, actually, never mind. No, I don't. What's the hub? So today, we are doing the home run
Oh,
derby.
my God. Billy Watt. You made it.
Yep, he did.
This is a weak lineup, not going to lie.
How do you figure? There's some solid power hitters here. You got Alonso, Gunnar, Adalis.
Nah, man, where's Judge, Otani, Soto, or Alvarez? I want some real big boy bats up here.
I'll take Garcia. He's on my world champion range.
No, we aren't picking yet.
I used to own them, you know.
Here we go. I go Billy Watt.
Guys, please settle down and just listen, all right? We are going to do this the same way we did last year. How did we do this last year? We swung for the fences. Oh, what are we swinging for now?
Your mom?
What? Hey, that's my line.
Guys,
I just want to say I've been very well behaved, quite frankly, the best behaved.
great. Ben, can you explain the order or draft, whatever?
Yeah, so we're going to go with a randomly generated list to decide the order of who gets to pick.
Can I go first?
If you're first on the list, absolutely.
Am I first?
I don't know, Joe. I got it.
He's got to generate the list, Joe.
Well, what if someone else picks Billy Watt before me? Joe, I can promise you no one is picking him, let alone first overall.
Can we just hear the list, please?
I'm just going to go one by one. So, Donald, you're first.
Give me Bobby Witt.
Oh, no. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Don't hear something.
What was that?
Take back the damn pick. Now.
All right.
Yeah.
Buddy, why don't you go ahead and give me the gun, okay?
Oh, no. Can't do that. Papa Joe can't take his guns away, so why should I let you take mine, bitch? What is there? You're just proving how dangerous they are. Yeah, in irresponsible hands.
I think you're just trying to make Joe find somebody.
You want to pick again?
I don't know. Is anyone else fucking on?
Oh, come on, guys, can we please get things moving?
Yeah, guys, this is a guy bowling in the single digits.
Donald, would you just make your pick?
Fine, I'll take Peter Alonso again.
Didn't you lose with him last year?
Yeah, ain't he a sucker and a loser? Want me to pick Bobby Witt instead? Who? Yeah, thought so. Besides, he cheated last year, so it didn't count. The Mickey Mouse Derby.
Okay, next up is Old Wow Steve. Look at that.
Really?
I'm going to go with the underrated, underappreciated Jose Ramirez.
Please be my
George, you're up, bud.
Never made my pick.
No, you just only Donald and I won.
Look, I want to know first year in the ranking. Get it out of the booth saying that.
No one remembers George because you were a fake owner.
George takes $1. Joe, you're up.
What?
Hey, Robert.
Oh, my turn. Who's left?
Both Gunner, Ozuna, and Hamster.
So, I think Pittsburgh hasn't been your son yet. Right. Who's the best guy to go?
Robert, come on. We don't have time to give you in-depth scouting reports. Pick a guy, let's go.
Hey, sorry, I'll take Gunnar Hendricks.
There, I wanted to.
Barry, it is your turn now.
It's too late. You know what? Give me ball.
Bill, you're up, bud. And then Brett, sorry, but you're last.
I'll take it through the...
Oh, thank God.
What? Ain't it good?
Okay, honor.
Brett, you're up.
Hey, Bill, I thought you wanted that Hernandez guy. Oh, okay. Give me
Nope, too late. I'll take Teoscar.
whatever. I couldn't get that.
The same thing as last year. We're going to be one with the rounds.
Wait, he didn't take a statement. But a flop was playing at the Rangers Stadium. I used to own it, you know.
Is that fake news?
We're playing here because this is where the All-Star game is.
But this is the All-Star game.
Do we have good observation? Joe, shut up. You didn't know you did. Here's the bracket, everyone. Robert and I will face off first, then Don and Brett, George and Ben, and Bill will face off last.
Barry, you know it's not coming this style anymore, right?
What do you mean?
It's
Favors there are. Yeah, Ben, can you explain the owner of the draft, whatever?
yeah, so we're going to go with a randomly generated list to decide the order of who gets to pick.
Can I go first?
If you're first on the list, absolutely.
Am I first?
I don't know, Joe. I got
He's got to generate.
What if someone else picks Billy Rock before me? Joe, I can promise you no one is picking it, let alone first overall.
Can we just get the list, please?
I'm just going to go one by one. So, Donald, you're first.
Who do you Bobby with?
Well, shots fired. Shots fired.
Tell me that.
Get back to the
All right. You know,
Hey, Joe, buddy, why don't you go ahead and give me the gun, okay?
oh, no. Can't do that. Papa Joe can't take your guns away, so why should I let you take mine, bitch? Put it there. You're just proving how dangerous they are. Yeah, in irresponsible hands.
Are they just trying to make their fire political thing? Seems like it's unbelievable.
No one is trying to make this political. I'm thinking about all eight of us, Mr. Governor. Oh, what was that for? What was that for? We're firing a weapon in here. Well, I did my first death pop.
Take the gun, Joe.
Fine. Here.
Yes, all right. Donald, want to pick again?
I don't know. Is anyone else fucking armed?
Oh, come on, guys, can we please get things moving?
Yeah, guys, this is a guy bowling in a single digit.
Donald, would you just make your pick?
Fine, I'll take Peter Alonso again.
Didn't you lose with him last year?
Yeah, ain't he a sucker and a loser? Want me to pick Bobby Witt instead? Who? Yeah, thought so. Besides, he cheated last year, so it didn't count. It's the Mickey Mouse Derby.
Okay, next up is Old Wow Steve. Look at that.
Really?
I'm going to go with the underrated, underappreciated Jose Ramirez.
Please be my
George, you're up, bud.
I already made my pick.
No, you did. Only Donald and I won.
So I wanted on first year in the Rangers. Get it out of the booth saying that. You don't remember that?
No one remembers George because you were a fake owner.
George takes $1. Joe, you're up.
Maybe what?
Hey, Robert.
Oh, my turn. Who's left?
Both Gunner, Ozuna, and Hamster.
So I think Pittsburgh hasn't been your son yet. Who's the best guy to go?
Robert, come on. We don't have time to give you in-depth scouting reports. Pick a guy, let's go.
Hey, sorry, I'll take Gunnar Hendricks.
There, I wanted to.
Barry, it is your turn now.
Pretty late, you know what? Give me ball.
Bill, you're up, bud. And then Brett, sorry but you're last.
I'll take it, Bruno.
Oh, thank God.
What? Hey, you good? Okay, it's owner off the field.
Brett, you're up.
Okay, so I thought you wanted that in the Mango gun. Billy, let's be honest. You're set up, man. It's going to get pretty close to the place. Hey, just want to go. You said you can't afford it, man. If you can, we got to have but each one needs one. Who is it? I got it. Say. Like that. He's going to be fine. The next thing you say, you don't know. Make safe for it. Make it better from it. I know you have almost nothing. That's amazing. All I want is a couple of bucks and a sweet. Throw in and say, Anderson. Anderson. No, you never know like that. I don't know why I'm doing this.
You're not too.
Think about it, money back. Get the part on. Mark, can't afford it, Billy. You sure about that? I get the impression Mark's going to come softer. You see, it's a 300 home. Billy. I hear you looking for a left-handed reliever. I took the best, bro. We'll make it quick and easy. No, hang on. Hang on a second. That is, baby. Four. Six. Down to the No, it's fine. Fine. It's just an extra. Oh, it's not a fault. That was us. You know, you got right with it. This deal, I'm getting ready to call. It's done deal. That was not the best, but I'm supposed to have some time. But I'd rather see the future. That's what it is. Let's find out. Next time, I'm going to come to the back first. Yeah. Okay, let's talk, man. I'll tell you that. Thanks. I need to see you. Dollar Phillips. I'll do it, man. Hi, Mr. Shaw. It's Peter Brandon. I apologize for when I called earlier. Really nice to call you back. You got that line. Billy says he's $225,000 for his part of the study. Yeah, I actually. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so this is okay for the show. But we sell it for more money next year. Keep it profit. Okay, thank you very much for playing that. Thank you. Come on. Come on. That's false parliament. Come on, I gotta work here. Laura? Yeah? Listen, I don't want to come sit me against you tonight. Somebody send this girl and send him over. I got 3 months. Yep. Great. I don't want to go up in the league at all. But since you picked everything up, you got sense of no doubt. All right.
and my wife to go fucking in and fuck you both. Okay, good. Didn't want to fire that place in. Definitely so. Let's keep up the good play. Let's see how it's good. By the way, guys, I trained a Pokemon up at this since Donald only wants to finish with me. Good Joe, you love my play back. Just your reaction to the evolving. Okay, hold on, Joe. We're going to finish this back. What is it, Gerard? I don't want any stuff on the season for that. I just had to walk up. You did that nice typing as well. Besides, nice typing the same thing like that. Are you fucking serious, Gerard? You may be saying that you should swap a piece of shit on you to tell me you don't want it anymore? I 100% agree with you. That's fucked up. Guys, I'm sorry. No you can forgive me, but I guarantee you that lockups would be much better. I thought about the fact that yesterday doesn't have a good special attack in this game. I'm sorry, Joe. Will you forgive me? Only if you call me Daddy. Fucking Christ, Joe. You're the fucking rival battle before you care. Okay, calm the fuck down. I literally trained out too much. Don't disrespect me. Okay, well, let me do this thing, Joe. By the way, how far do you plan on progressing today? I plan on going through the Nugget Ribbon all the way through. Then I plan on challenging the mystery today as well. That's the hold on, hold on, Joe. Don't get too ahead of yourself. You feel pretty damn well. You sit around and think you're going to be crazy. This sounds risky. Calm the fuck down and let the rock challenge you. I really don't with Joe. I think I was bringing it because I'm not work long enough for you to take on this season. Someone takes another 2 on 6. Fuck you both. I'm tired of being constantly disrespected. There's this thing called dominion, season, I'll charge it any other fucked up shit. It doesn't change the fact that I literally carried out things I trained in another culture. And guess what, guys? I'm going to continue to fucking flip it. Okay, how about this then? Let's do a best shot of 3 golden and 7 straight skill. So we can see where your brain is at. That's actually a smart idea, Donald. I didn't know you were capable of being smart. Shut the fuck up, Barack. I'm way smarter than you believe me. Okay, both of you guys call me Mr. Donald. I will take you up on that proposal. In the meantime, just enjoy my dominance in this fucking game. We'll see about that, Joe. By the way, what's your strategy with regards to training our team up? I think it's pretty simple. Even though I get hard as fuck every time here, you should have played the same way as you should have been here. You're going to have the door and the ball and have to carry against this. Honestly, Joe, other than the intermediate case, I actually like that idea. Let's see Donald do this trade, and I guarantee you that we will lead our team to success. I would have to do it with up on the show. I don't think Nancy was really sure much of the footage to the line. If it was a finance, that would be a different story. But Nancy is literally one water pump away from being one shot. Okay, I need to launch an official investigation, you guys. What the fuck are you talking about, Donald? Why? Joe is playing the game so damn well that I'm officially suspicious that he forced someone to take his shitty-ass brain away from someone's smart brain. Shut the fuck up, you daily McDonald's eating ass fuck. I told you before, let Papa Joe do his fucking. Donald, I'm on Joe's side on this. If he's playing well, he'll be a fucking good teammate and support him. He literally forced yelling at fuck who have to bust the fucking nut every time his favorite Pokemon evolves. Like, holy shit, this is a fucking kid's game for fuck's sake. Shut the fuck up, Barack. I know you feel the same way about me, kid. Don't you dare make assumptions about me. You orange or these hot dogs finger having an asshole. Okay, I keep believing I'm about to be the mediator, but can the both of you guys calm the fuck down and let me focus on the training? Come on, Joe. You must know another feeling when I saw you do it evolve. It's just amazing. Fuck yes, Daddy. I know I could talk to you. I felt the same exact feeling when Charmander evolved. Okay, this is the 3rd straight time in a row in which we two have constantly sucked each other off. I'm tired of this fucking bullshit from you two. Either keep this shit in the fucking bedroom or I'm fucking leaving this goddamn home. Holy shit, Rock, can you fucking lighten up? It's not a fucking joke. If you know it's not a fucking joke, say it now. Don't you fucking dare say anything about my husband. I mean, wife. Whoa, let me step her up. Fuck you both. Joe, just play the fucking game for fuck's sake. You literally not see me fucking cooking. Tell me it's a little bitch even when I'm doing it like this. Sounding like fat ass Donald there. Shut the fuck up, Joe. Don't start shit up. You can't fucking manage to do that. Like, holy shit. Your brain will literally go to shit. I can confirm this, Donald. This brain will go to shit. Just focus on the training, Joe. For the best. So let's do it. And it's fucking me. Playing better than both you and Donald combined. So go fuck yourself. You think you're playing better than us, Joe? Because you're being played to the talking kid. Holy fucking shit. You fucking see me represent this fucking thing. Okay, let's fucking calm down and go. We're sorry for doing this. God fucking damn, you feel this is just harder than this music. I want to polish the time. You're going to sit there and stare at me the entire fucking time. You're going to something else. Joe's right, Donald. Apologize for the bad guy. Fine, Joe. I'm sorry for that. You can't tell you what you're doing well. Well, Joe. Jesus fucking Christ. Not her again. Look at those fucking legs. In her hair. How many fucking dicks you demanded old man? How many times do I have to tell you that this behavior is not okay? You know what Barack just let it be? What the fuck are you talking about, Donald? Why? He's a fucking lost cause at this point. After all, his wife is in the advanced stages of decomposition, so that's probably why he's sitting over 10-year-old girl. Shut the fuck up, Donald. Your wife will be in the latter stages of decomposition. If she didn't put on 1 million pounds of makeup, as long as she's keeping facial transformation surgery, every fucking week. For fuck's sake, you guys, we need to prove to the world that three of us can have fun playing a game and not constantly bitter. Can we just be supportive of each other for once? Be supportive of each other. Barack, you've done this. You always tell me up and beautiful way. If you think that fucking behavior is okay, then you need to get fucking help, really. Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know how the hell you're the fucking president of the United States. I always think the same fucking thing Barack did. Shut the fuck up, you orange brown. You're not much better. Fuck you, are you guys literally watching me once again Papa Joe destroy the training? Oh, I hope you hear again somewhere. Joe, this week in your arena forces thing. Shut the fuck up, Barack. I know what I'm fucking doing. I've literally done almost everything for our fucking team. The biggest liability on this team is either you or Donald. That's well, it's not me, so it's definitely not. By the way, Joe, I know I've been sitting with you all day, but I have to say, you're doing a great job training this arena. Just as that's why I'm very involved in you. You know what, Donald, I appreciate that too. I know I keep my chest out there in the Pokemon match, and even I forgot the Snyder situation track in level 26. Thanks, Donald, I really do mean that. You see that, Barack? If it wasn't for your negative ass, we'd always be in a good mood, and we didn't always be different. It's because of you that our mood is like this. I'm losing fucking brain cells. Remember the fucking time I took a fucking break from you two because of your constant bickering? What the fuck happened in 7 days to die, huh? You take fucking crying to me, you 400-pound keto. I'm sorry, Barack, that was the past. I'll apologize to John for calling me 400-pound keto. That kind of negativity is not fucking needed in the fucking truth. Shut the fuck up, Joe. What is your fucking words with Donald? I swear to fucking God with the amount of big light that you do, it's just ridiculous. It's okay, Joe, don't respond to that. It's probably because Barack doesn't have an active sex life. Fuck you. Okay, though. We'll take the high road and calm the situation down. Alright, how about a proposal? Let's just fucking focus on Pokemon and something phase. That's fine with me. That's what I've been wanting to focus on instead of understanding things. What about you, Donald? Yeah, that's fine with me, too. Let's just have fun playing Pokemon. Are you guys proud of me? I didn't bust the nuts and clean that girl. What's the fight, Joe? Someone wanted to talk about this Pokemon. And what do you mean you didn't bust it up this time? I think we both know what that means, Donald. Let's not get into that shit. It's never accident waiting to happen. Okay, I was just joking. Take a fucking joke. Yeah, no, fuck that, Joe. We all know pretty damn well that you're not fucking joking. The amount of time that you take to get it hard over that same fucking shit is absolutely ridiculous. Can't help. I fucking do. Okay, let's all take a deep breath here. We're not even halfway down with this tournament. If we keep arguing, Joe's brain will be in the pit before he even gets to do it. Shut the fuck up, bro. I'll have you know that it's fucking brain. Not the fuck down, Joe. Just focus on the game. Don't you fucking interrupt me, you wig-wearing fuck. Damn, you were saying, Joe? My brain is perfectly intact, so fuck you both. By the way, I'm going to keep some here with smoke to you. Are you fucking
Yeah, I'm with Donald on this one. I agree with teaching Johnny able to smoke skin, but it won't be able to tank the waterfalls, that's for sure. You guys both don't know what it's like to be a Pokemon master. There are millions to tank a fucking waterfall, and all we need is at least one smoke screen, and that will make the difference. That's why.
Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see. On a good dojo, keep your fucking dominance up. You've been crushing these trainers left and right in a way that has honestly surprised me. Good shit, Joe.
Yeah, for real, Joe, I'm surprised that you're getting past the Nugget Bridge with little to no trouble. It's honestly impressive to me, too. Maybe we shouldn't call him demented or senile anymore. What do you think, Donald?
Whoa, hold on. Let's not get fucking carried away. Just because I'm impressed now, that can easily change. There are still a ton of trainers left. I don't even know if I should take your guys' comments as a compliment or not, but that's okay, though. I'll just continue dominating like usual. That being said, I'm going to use the Pokemon Center real quick.
Okay, Joe, how are you feeling for your battle against the Rocket Grunt?
Rocket Grunt? What are you talking about? Here we go.
Just some regular dude who gives you a nugget, right?
Jesus fucking Christ. I fucking knew that we couldn't trust Chili's ass for a long period of time. Joe, you call yourself the Pokemon Master. How do you not even remember that this dude is a fucking rocket grunt? Did your dementia kick in or something?
Shut the fuck up, Donald. Here we fucking go.
The best and forget small things like this. Why the fuck do you jump over this fucking opportunity to call me demented whenever I have a small mishap? Are you fucking obsessed with me or some shit? Is that a fucking joke? Why the fuck would I be obsessed with your old ass?
Hey guys, can I be honest here?
What the fuck do you want, Barack?
To answer Joe's question, I think not only are you obsessed with Joe, but I think Joe is also obsessed with you.
Like hell I am.
You just love each other so fucking much that you can't stop talking and roasting each other. That's the definition of a close relationship. So both of you guys shut the fuck up and think about what I just said.
Okay, I'll be honest here, Donald. Jesus fucking Christ. I dream about you every fucking night. Ever since you gave me the surprise of Charmander's evolution, I haven't been able to not think of you. You appear in every dream. I think about you all the goddamn time. Okay, I don't even know if you're fucking joking anymore. Holy shit, Joe. You're on your fucking such shit again. I literally can't with this. Can we change the fucking topic?
I agree with you, Donald. Let's just change the fucking topic then.
Okay, guys, I was just joking. Please don't feel uncomfortable around me. That being said, do you guys want me to catch any Pokemon today for our party? No, I think I'm okay. What about you, Barack?
Yeah, I'm okay too. I think the Pokemon I want will be much later on, but we'll see.
Are you sure you won't fucking change your mind like you did with fucking Magikarp? Are you 100% sure, bitch?
Fuck off, Joe. That was just one fucking time, and yes, I'm fucking sure. Get off my dick for fuck's sake.
Unfortunately, Barack, I don't think Joe knows how to get off your fucking dick. Apparently, he can't even get off of mine like holy shit.
What the fuck, Donald? That was such an unnecessary comment. Are you trying to start more such shit up again?
I mean, if you guys want. No! Okay, fine, I was just kidding. I think we're fucking halfway done with these trainers, and then we can battle Misty. Okay, Joe. How is your brain feeling, though? Do you think you'll be able to handle Misty after you finish off the trainers? I definitely feel like I can handle Misty, if you know what I mean.
Just because you said that shit, I'll be the one battling Misty next time we fucking play. I think it's for the best anyways. What do you guys think?
I agree with you, Barack. I think there's a less of a chance you fuck up, Barack, because you wouldn't have your brain fucked by 20 trainers beforehand. What are your thoughts, Joe? I will admit I'm getting a little sleepy, so I think it's best if Barack handles Misty. But don't fucking get it twisted. It's not because my brain is going to shits or whatever the hell you two are thinking.
Okay, chill out, Joe. Don't worry about that. You still got so many trainers left, and I don't want you to fuck up now. Surprisingly, you've been doing a really good job.
Okay, but can we be honest here? Why does Barack get to face the gym leaders always? How is that fair to me or even fucking Joe? Battling gym leaders are one of the best things to do in this game, and we can't even fucking do that. You know what? I'm on Donald's side. That's some bullshit, Barack. Definitely fucking rigged it the whole second out of the three of us because you secretly calculated how to just fucking battle the gym leaders while Donald and I do all the fucking dirty work.
Holy fucking shit, you two. First off, I did not fucking rig it, Joe. Stop sounding like that.
Fuck you.
Second of all, how the fuck am I supposed to know how much someone wants to do with regards to their turn? stop your bitching and just accept the fact that I'm facing mystery. I'm sure you guys will get your opportunities as well.
Okay, I got a proposal with the provider.
Okay, what is it, Donald?
I know how we've been taking turns for the emulator, but I say for the Elite Four. And champions, we just all meet up at your house and play the emulator together. We'll take turns on the different Elite Four members and eventually the champion to ensure that we each get involved in important battles. What do you think?
Holy shit, Donald, that was the best idea I've ever heard coming out of your mouth. Good shit, bitch. I will say that it is a fair and good idea, so I'm down for that. I just have to make sure it's okay with my family for you two to come over and
No worries, Barack. Just let us know what they say.
Oh, fuck, are the three of us going to be in one house together? Jesus fucking Christ, I'm feeling so many fucking feelings right now. If you start up with that bullshit again, I'm not fucking inviting you guys over to my place.
No need for an invite at that point, Barack. I wouldn't want to be around Joe's shoes and senile ass.
Okay, I was just fucking kidding. Please still get permission to invite us, Barack. Okay, then don't fucking act like that anymore for the rest of our goddamn call. You got it, Daddy. I mean, Barack.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I will say that, Joe, I like how you're training up Nidorino to a pretty high level, Joe. We'll need that for the battle against Starmie. Just remember what Donald said, though. Evolve Nidorino at level 22, so it can learn Thrash. Wait, what? I have to evolve Nidorino at level 22. No one told me that.
There you have it, Barack. Joe's dementia is kicking in. There's no fucking way that he'll remember to evolve Nidorino at level 22. So make sure you do that when it's your turn to play, for fuck's sake.
Don't worry, Donald. We'll be fine. I'll be sure to evolve Nidorino when it's my time to play. In the meantime, let's just make sure that Joe doesn't fuck up any shit. Shut the fuck up. I'm almost done with these fucking trainers, and you guys are acting like I haven't been cooking a goddamn gourmet meal this whole damn time. Talk about being supportive, but all you two do is talk down on me in every way possible.
Okay, calm the fuck down, you old hag. Ultimately, Barack and I want you to be okay when your brain goes into shit. Don't fucking take it personally.
Okay, Joe, I'll say this in a much nicer way. Regardless of how Donald and I may come off as, we truly do care for your success. Ultimately, your success is our success. And in order for us to become Pokemon Masters, we all need to be on the top of our game, right? You're right, Barack. Thanks for saying that in a nice way, unlike bitch-ass Donald.
Bitch, no one should be obligated to fucking coddle me. I mean, you got fucking coddled all your fucking life. And look at where you're at now.
Fuck you,
You've been in
bitch.
politics for 51 years, and you've been a shitty-ass president for 2 years. This is all because you were fucking coddled.
I've been coddled all my life. Are you fucking serious? I'm not the one who got a fucking small loan for fucking $1 million, you obese bitch. And don't you dare say anything about my fucking presidency. Yours was literally a fucking disaster. Okay, let's calm the fuck down. There is no fucking need to take shots at each other's presidencies.
Shut the fuck up, Barack. If you want to talk about presidencies, then we can talk about your shitty-ass presidency that unfortunately lasted for 8 years.
Don't you dare talk about my daddy like that. I mean, Barack. Okay, let's just change the fucking conversation. By the way, Joe, I am not your fucking daddy. You have some fucking sick thoughts and you need to change your behavior immediately.
I'm actually going to agree with you on that, Barack. You're fucking weird and you need to get that shit fixed ASAP.
Shut the fuck up, Donald. How about you get your fucking weight fixed? Fuck. All you do is eat fucking donuts while drinking Diet Coke every day. How dumb can you be? You think drinking Diet Coke is your healthy alternative while you stuff fucking pizzas, McDonald's, and donuts down your fat ass? Okay, let's all take a deep breath here. While everything you are saying is 100% true, we shouldn't let that distract us from the fact how Joe is almost done with these trainers. Good shit, Joe.
Okay, fine, I'll give you credit for that, Joe, but please, for the love of God, evolve the fucking Nidorino now. It can learn Thrash when you evolve it, and it's a fucking amazing move.
Shut the fuck up, Donald. Don't talk to me like I'm your fucking bitch. I don't have to fucking evolve this fucking Nidorino.
Are you fucking seeing this, Barack? He's literally fucking growing.
Come on, Joe, just evolve the damn thing. I'll evolve it when I fucking want to evolve it. You two can just cry about it. This is literally my fucking I sounded more fake than Melania's fucking face.
Fuck
You
you,
two
bitch.
literally treat me like I'm the dumbest human on this goddamn planet. But the reality is that I've literally carried our team for the most part.
Holy shit, Joe. Can you not fucking trace like fucking me or you know? It's fucking King Joe. I swear to fucking God, Joe. If you level it up, I'm done playing with you guys, I swear.
Joe, what the fuck are you doing? You're actually fucking throwing right now. Both of you calm your fucking titties. There's only one way for me to not level this beta ring up. You guys want to know what that is? I'm all ears, Joe. Tell us, what do we got to do?
It better not be some stupid shit, I swear to God, Joe.
Call me fucking daddy. The both of you better put your heart and fucking soul into calling me daddy.
Jesus fucking Christ, Joe. I swear to fucking God, if you don't stop with this bullshit, I will literally...
Okay, we'll do it, Joe.
What the fuck are you talking about, Barack? I will not call that old hag my fucking daddy. You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Shut the fuck up, you orange fuck. Do you want him to level up the arena?
Well, no, but...
Then you call him daddy first then, and then I will go after it.
Fine, just give me a damn second. Jesus fucking Christ! Joe Biden is my daddy. No one else is my daddy but Daddy. Right, Daddy?
Oh, fuck yeah, that's all good to hear. Okay, it's my turn. Just give me a second real quick. Just like Donald, Joe is my daddy, too. Joe Biden is my daddy. Oh, fucking Joe. Daddy Joe. Try not to beat me so badly. Oh, fuck, that felt so good. Thank you, guys. I will no longer level neither of you.
Jesus fucking Christ, I feel like I need to fucking use mouth guards or some shit. Joe, you got what you fucking wanted. Now roll that fucking Nigerino.
Yes, Joe. Please, please. Please. Thank you.
What the fuck is wrong with you, Barack? Are you joking or some shit? Perhaps you did.
Fuck off, Donald. I just had some shit in my mouth, but I'm fine now. What I was basically saying was, Joe, for fuck's sake, please evolve the fucking Nigerino. I'm not fucking evolving shit. Fuck you both.
Fuck you, Joe. How dare you go back on your fucking word? You said you would evolve the fucking Nigerino. Fuck you.
I don't ever recall saying that I would fucking evolve the damn thing. I simply said that I wouldn't level this Nigerino up, which was my original plan anyway. I just wanted you two to call me Daddy. GG, get fucking wrecked. I can't believe Joe literally pulled a fast one on us, Donald. I didn't think his brain was fucking capable of thinking like that. Damn. So we basically called him Daddy for nothing. That's fucking disgusting.
I honestly can't even process the mental torment that Joe just put us through. Jesus fucking Christ, Joe. Never fucking again will I ever make you pissed off.
That's right, boys. Papa Joe for the win. From now on, just know that if you fuck with me, I will fuck with you psychologically and make you call me Daddy. Jesus fucking Christ, let's just focus on the fucking game now. I guess you're basically at Bill now. Good shit, Joe.
I appreciate that, but oh fuck, not her again! I thought I said I wouldn't get hard over her, but Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, I'm actually fucking glad we decided that Joe would not be taking on Misty today. Joe's literally lost it for life. I'm just fucking glad that we don't have to see that disaster at 4 fucking K. That's literally an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, for real, Donald. But in all seriousness, Joe, I'm sorry for making you feel the way you felt with regards to your ability to think. You literally fucking cooked like Gordon Ramsay, and you didn't let one of our Pokemon faint. You also trained up our party perfectly, and you equipped us well enough to take on Misty and her bitch-ass Stormy. Good shit, Joe. I'm proud of you. Thanks, Barack. I appreciate that. What about you, Donald? What do you think?
I hated the fact how you made us call you Daddy for nothing, but in all seriousness, I also believe that you did one hell of a job taking on all this training. It's not easy to dominate the way you did. I'm just glad that we can come together like this and help us remember our ultimate goal and become the Pokemon champions my life for you.
Fuck yeah, Donald, you're right. Let's go to fucking Bill now to get that SSN ticket. I'm super curious as to how you remember that Bill is the one that gives you the SSN ticket. And you couldn't fucking remember that the dude at the end of the Nugget Bridge was a rocket gun. I'm literally interested in how your mind works, Joe. I'm not going to lie.
Calm down, Barack. If you say zesty shit like that, then Joe is going to get fucking hard and pull his fucking bullshit again. Let's just chill and congratulate Joe on a job well done today.
Okay, I agree with you, Donald. My bad, I didn't notice that. Good shit, Joe. Yeah, okay, I get it now. By the way, boys, are we still going in order? Do I send the emulator over to Barack the next time we play?
Yeah, Joe, send it over to Barack. He'll be the one who will have the tall task to defeat Misty and that bitch-ass Stormy. I'm curious to see how you play this, Barack. Stormy literally counters our entire fucking team.
Yeah, it will definitely be interesting, but I have a few ideas to beat Misty. Anyway, boys, are we done for today?
Accuracy matters. Bronze Age Precision technology helps guide you with even more confidence. Accuracy made easy.
Dude, this new Zelda game sucks. How am I supposed to solve these puzzles?
Oh, come on. The game is a giant sandbox. The only limit is your creativity, Donnie.
I am creative. I just built the Trump Train 9000, but it doesn't want to go up the ramp.
Donnie, you have one fan on 4 minecarts. Your engineer skills are lacking hard.
Who even makes this kind of game? I'm not an engineer. This is ridiculous.
Geez, relax, Donnie. No need to get so worked up. Just look up a tutorial.
Nope, screw that. I'm walking up the rails myself. That'll show Nintendo.
Kind of defeats the whole purpose of the game, but sure.
Oh, great. Who just joined?
Sup, fellas? Donnie and I are playing the new Zelda, and his 70 IQ brain can't figure out how to build any contraptions.
Can't really say I'm surprised, but forget that. Let's hop on some zombies.
Zombies? No way. Plus, we already did the Super Easter egg.
Well, obviously not Black Ops 3. Hold on, let me get Joe in the call here.
Oh, no, you don't. No shot I'm going to play with that geriatric slime ball after the stunt he pulled on BO3.
Wait, what stunt?
Right, George wasn't here because he rage quit, so apparently Joe didn't beat Der Eisendrache, but still got the reward because we did.
Yep, sounds like Joe. It's like the second he touches the keyboard, he morphs into a backpack and forces us to carry him.
Accurate, anyway, I'm going to call it. Hold on.
Thank God, he's asleep.
Nice, you jinxed it.
Hello, Joe?
What? Who the hell is this? How did you get this number? I'll have you know I am the President of the United States.
It's Barack, dumbass. We're literally FaceTiming. I can see you right now. You do not have my number saved.
Oh, hi, Barry. What's up? Sorry I got a new phone because I dropped my old one in a bowl of ice cream.
Of course you did. Whatever. Just hop in the Discord. We're going to play zombies.
Okay, I'm coming.
Okay, Joe is coming. I was thinking this time we could play Black Ops 2.
Bro, I am trying to play Zelda.
George?
Yeah, I'm down.
So what, Donnie? You're just going to sit in the Discord and play Zelda while the three of us play zombies?
Well, no, so I guess I'll play.
I've got a big sausage pizza for one Donald Trump.
What the? Don't quit fooling around. I didn't order no pizza.
Then how about just a big sausage?
Yeah, and how about I serve you a piping hot knuckle sandwich?
Donnie, those microscopic hands have probably never thrown a punch in their lives. Really, as soon as you join the Discord, you two are fighting? Quit it. Everyone hop on Black Ops 2.
I'm on. What map are we going to play?
That is an excellent question. What map should we play, guys?
Ooh, let's do Origins.
Good map, but we already did it in BO3. Let's do a different one first.
I want to play Transit. How about Mob of the Dead?
I'd much rather play Mob of the Dead than Transit, so I'm down.
Yeah, fuck Transit.
Come on, guys. You never want to play the maps I want to. Yeah, well, that's because you suck at picking the maps. Just like you suck at running the country. Kablam, roasted.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Just make the lobby, Donnie.
All right, inmates, the goal of this map is to break out of the prison.
This map will be good practice for when you're on the inside. Hey, Donnie?
Oh, definitely. The afterlife ability will be good practice for you.
Oh, damn, Donald, just because you're making a joke about the afterlife doesn't mean you gotta send it there.
Really? That joke was weak as hell, just like his little T-Rex arms.
T-Rexes are awesome. If anything, saying I have T-Rex arms is a compliment because they're the most powerful dinosaur.
Wait a minute, what the hell is this? Why do I have blue hands and no gun?
That would be afterlife mode. You'd have to find your body and revive yourself.
I figured it out, man. This is a creepy jail.
Hold on, I'm going to do what's called a pro gamer move right here.
Oh, God, what are you doing?
If you jump and down yourself with a grenade at the same time, you can buy a door for free while you're falling, as long as you have afterlife.
Seriously? You don't have your crutch gobble guns in this one, so you have to resort to literally breaking the game?
Hey, it gets the door open for free, plus it unlocks this area so I can zap the power box to open the shower area and lower the key. Just make sure you revive me. I'm not going to be able to revive myself.
All right, glitching queen, I got you.
Actually, that's a good idea. Maybe I should start a glitching channel. Call it Glitching President.
Well, if you're going to call it glitching president, it would probably help for you to actually be president.
I was, until that necromancer Kamala Harris used her dark magic to reanimate your husky and started campaigning with it.
Ooh, that gives me a good idea for my next D&D campaign.
This guy really taking notes in the Discord?
Wait, guys, stop killing all the zombies. You need to feed the dogs.
Shit, you're right. Everyone come to the first dog.
Guys, is it just me or is this map kind of cramped?
That's like the whole point. You're in jail. Of course it's going to be cramped.
Not just any jail. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary.
Federal Penitentiary? Who am I playing zombies with right now? The nerd emoji?
Yeah, I'm the nerd emoji. But at least I'm not the guy who's going to wind up in a federal penitentiary.
Bro, this is coming from the actual war criminal in the Discord.
Takes one to know one, buddy.
Fellas, relax. We all know I'd be a better war criminal than either of you, so let's just focus on the game.
That's probably true. Let's hope it never comes to that anyway.
So wait, is this just like Dear Eisendrach with the dragons?
Well, this map came out first, so if anything, your Eisendrach is like this.
Facts.
Yeah, I can't even make fun of George for that one. That's just straight up true.
Yeah, whatever.
A good zombie holder can make or break a run. You just happen to be the best at it.
The best at standing around babysitting one zombie. Right.
You don't understand. You're just so much better at it than us. If we tried to hold the zombie, we'd all screw it up, so it's just better if you do. Okay, I just picked up the warden's key. I'm going to open the dryer next.
Nice one, Donnie. I'm shocking the box to open the warden's office in afterlife mode.
You think you can shop the dryer too? I just unlocked the door.
I'm on it.
Don't worry, guys. I'm still watching the zombie.
Man, I can barely see. My game is so zoomed in.
Yeah, go to your settings and turn up your FOV.
How do I do this again? Somewhere in settings. Oh, here we go. Field of view. Okay, now I'm going fast.
Again, Joe, it just zooms it out. You're not actually going fast.
Wait, what is FOV scale?
I don't know. Maybe don't mess with that.
I may have messed with it.
What did you do?
I think I unlocked super speed.
You're not actually going to try to play like that, are you?
What? No, I'm not that stupid.
Well, you had me fooled.
Okay, it's back to normal. What are we doing now?
I'm about to activate the dryer. Come downstairs, Joe.
If I can remember how to get over there.
Just go back to spawn and come down the stairs.
All right, I found the stairs. I'm coming.
Make sure you don't fall down these ones.
Hot zombie holder. I spit on the ground you walk on.
This is unbelievable.
Okay, turning on the dryer.
What happens after you turn it on?
It's time. We need to wait for the cycle to finish so we can pick up the clock for the plane.
Uh-oh, Brutus just spawned in. I only have my starting pistol.
I'm going to go find the mystery box and get a gun so we can kill this guy.
Hurry, I'll keep him occupied in the meantime.
I'm shooting him. Oh shit, he almost insta-downed me.
The clock is done. I'm picking it up. Hey, Abundance, you find the mystery box yet?
Yes, Doc. It's in the warden's office.
Could you hurry up and get it, Josh? This isn't an Epstein warden. He's not just going to fall asleep.
All right, I got Nelson. I'm coming.
Guys, guess what?
What?
I still have the zombie.
That's great, George. I'm taking down this Brutus. All right, he's dead. Don't grab that nuke, though.
There's only one zombie left. We might as well kill it and grab the dude for 3 points.
Oh, I just got a double point. Scrap that nuke.
Damn, well, good thing we killed that zombie first.
No kidding. I'm hitting the box now.
Whoa, did you just get the AK-47 out of the box?
You're goddamn right, I did. Shout out to the homie Mikhail Kalashnikov. He knows how to make the right
And you call yourself a patriot. Ass-kissing a Russian rifle, M16 is better in every way, you know.
Thanks, George. Donnie is a pro at ass-kissing Russian things.
Hilarious. Well, Joe, let's go upstairs into the infirmary and start feeding the dog up there.
Yeah, I got the door. Don't worry there, moneybags Trump. I'll cop up my hard-earned points.
I literally have 260 points.
Hell yeah, I just got to deliver. Also, the first dog is done, by the way.
Joe, come pick this part up that I'm unlocking.
What is this thing for?
It's a part of the plane we're building to escape the prison. We need to place it on the roof.
Well, it's not letting me up on the roof. The door is closed.
That's because it's not open yet. You gotta come interact with the afterlife box and then come over to this room and go through this door onto the roof and shot the door open.
Okay, I'm going into afterlife mode. Where am I going again?
Just follow me to the door and jump up the hole in the roof.
Oh, okay, here we go. Wait, what the?
Hold down space bar when you jump.
Okay, I got it. I'm on the roof now. I just need to shock this box and the door is open. Shock the box, door's open.
Nice. Now just res yourself and then let's go on the roof and put down a plane card.
There's only a couple zombies left, so we're going to have to flip the round again to start feeding the next dog.
Well, come to the infirmary and let's start it then.
I just ended my part.
I'm almost there, George. Where are you?
Don't worry, I'm right behind you, Barack. Guys, why is there a bathtub full of blood in here?
It's for the Golden Squad Easter egg. A legendary lingering weapon that one shots up to round 34.
Wow, Donnie, you're starting to sound like me. Maybe my nerdiness is rubbing off on you.
That is not true. I just happen to be a big fan of Mob of the Dead, that's all.
Sounds like Donnie is a closeted nerd. George is open about his nerdiness, and we love him all the same.
Wait, why would you put it like that?
I am not a nerd. I am a pro gamer. There's a big difference. I'm not some loser living in his mom's basement like George. I live in a multi-million-dollar town.
Right. And your daddy works at Activision and is going to ban me from the game for making fun of you?
Yeah, actually, he also gives me free CP whenever I want, and I have access to the new Call of Duty already, so suck on that.
Wait a minute, what the hell did you just say, Donnie? He gives you free what?
CP. You know, COD points, the in-game currency you use to buy items, it's like V-Bucks, but for COD.
I know what COD points are, just please do not call me CP again.
Why does it suppose that it's not going to make?
I don't get it. What are we talking about?
Joe, if I explained it to you, you'd probably get excited. Let's just focus on the game, please.
Looks like the second dog hit is done now.
All right, we need to go down to the docks for the last one.
I'm already halfway there. Just open the first door to the elevator.
Grab that elevator part for the plane.
Yeah, going into afterlife.
Looks like I'm the only one with points, so I'll buy the door.
Well, that's real kind of you. I thought we were just going to stand there and stare at the locked door all day.
Isn't that what you do for a living? Stand around all day and pretend like you know what's going on?
Just got a shield party. Also, George, he doesn't just stand around, he gives us little cute card speeches, too.
Wait, another door and it's $1,500? Why is this fucking map so expensive?
It's a metaphor for escaping prison. Only people with lots of money can successfully do it.
Yeah, right. I guarantee you just pulled that out of your ass. Also, I just found a part for something.
Guys, the next door is 1,500, and none of us have enough points.
Never fear, my fellow gamers. Gypsy president to the rescue.
There he goes again, breaking the game. Anyway, I just got the rope out of the elevator.
Yeah, how about I take your internet, George? Use DDoS on a boda like you did to Joe on your Instagram.
Okay, first off, I'm not a Pokemon, so you can't just tell me to use a move. And second off, I didn't DDoS Joe. He's a shit-ass alien with.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, this thing is kind of cheap, so I think it's time for an upgrade. I was considering maybe getting a Mac. Heard they're pretty good for gaming.
Joe, I don't know who told you that, but they need to be drawn and quartered. Macs are not good for gaming. Please do not get a Mac.
I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Bernie.
You're taking gaming advice from Bernie. That guy probably still games on a Commodore 64.
Trump is such a nerd confirmed.
Okay, maybe a bit, but not some Virgin League player type shit. I'm the Sigma champion who's doing the Spartan 100 and schools with back.
Donnie, as your friend, I mean this in the nicest way possible. No, the fuck you are not.
Of course you would understand, but beta mix stuff in the matrix. Also, I just built the shield.
Well, at least I don't spray tan myself orange.
I'll spray myself whatever color I want. I'm a free man, not some soy-boy PC bot like you.
This dude wants to be Sneeko so bad. Also, while you two are arguing, I finished the third dog. What do we do now?
Now we can pick up the Hell's Retriever, the badass infinite tomahawk that destroys Warden.
We're also only missing one more plane part, so once we get it, we can finish building the plane and open the pack-a-punch.
Right, I'm collecting the stuff from the free plug again. Real quick.
I see the last part that the door is all electrified and I can't open it.
You have to shock these panels to unlock the door. Hold on, I'm just adding this part to the plane first.
Does anyone still have afterlife clothes? You might have to switch around.
Yeah, I still have mine. I'm kind of lost, though. Where am I going?
Follow me, Joe. I'll show you where the panels are.
Yes, Barack, I'm going to follow you just like I did in 2008 and in 2012.
Back before you became an ice cream zombie.
Well, the jury's still out on that one. I think Joe was half asleep back then, too.
This is the first panel you need to shock, Joe.
Okay, I got it. Now what?
Now shot this one, guys.
Yep, got it.
Then go through the wall here to the third box at the end of the room to the left.
Okay, I shot the third box. Is that it?
Yes, I'll revive yourself. I'm surprised Joe's actually helping out with the Easter egg.
One day you guys are going to realize that I'm actually insanely cracked at video games, and the whole sleepy thing is just my smurfing act.
Is this an AC unit? What the hell kind of plane are we building?
George, we're in Princeton. It's not like there's just a jet turbine laying on the ground for us to use. You gotta make do with what we have.
I don't know how the hell this thing is going to fly, but all right.
Everyone come to the roof. It's time to go to Pack-a-Punch.
I'm coming to the roof, but let's not go yet.
Why not?
I'm grabbing the last stone for the street running cat. I gotta go back to the warden's office to grab it.
I'm coming to the warden's office, too. I got to hit the box.
Joe, you have 8 points. You ain't hitting shit? Wait, I think my game might be glitched. It's not letting me pick up the plunder gas. What the fuck? No, Joe, what the fuck? You just stole my fucking gun. Not so sleepy now, am I? Donald Dump's shitty game glitched out, and now I copped his weapon. See? This is exactly why I should have just stayed on Zelda. Thank you so much for dragging me into this game, Baracco bitch ass.
Jesus, Don, chill. Joe, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you steal the blunder gas? Donnie was going to get the golden sport. It's a one-shot melee till round 34.
Oh, I guess I didn't think that through. Great, so I'm going to have to play the God to get out of the box. Let's just go to Pat.
All right, I admit I may have fucked up.
All right, I'm putting the last part on the plane. Everyone get ready to go to Pat.
I'm ready. Get on, boys.
I'm on. Not as cool as riding and dragging, but I'll take it.
Guys, check out what happens when you throw your Hell's Retriever off the back of the plane midair.
Classic mob moment, man. This takes me way back to the OG Xbox 360 days.
Xbox 360 was Microsoft's magnum opus, no doubt about it.
Did he just say 360?
I think that was just your fucked up theory.
Oh shit, we're gonna crash.
Way to go, George. 3 for 3.
Okay, this time it's not my fault. We built a plane out of some T-shirts and an AC unit. What do you think is gonna happen?
Well, we're going to have to do that 2 more times, and then we beat the Easter egg.
Wait, that's it? There's no epic boss battle?
There is a battle.
And it's going to be with the boss. That boss is me.
You're fired. Bruce is spawning in. Everyone get him.
Shit, he literally spawned right in front of me. Help!
Okay, I got him with the tomahawk. He's down.
All right, let's get the hell out of here so we can pick those parts up again.
Is it just me, or are all these Easter eggs just glorified fetch quests?
Welcome to Call of Duty Zombies. That's exactly what they are.
Boy, I remember back when Zombies was just about surviving to a high round. Me and old Sarsaparilla Sam used to play long into the night on the old white Xbox 360 until it red ringed that one fateful night.
That is so capital, I really used to always say the most of all was too scary to play.
Okay, maybe it's more like Sarsaparilla Sam would play and I just sit on the couch and watch.
Joe, nobody cares about your weird friend Sarsaparilla Sam. Everyone go find a gas gun where the plane parts were so we can fill the plane up and go back to Pat.
On. A few moments later.
All right, I'm putting the last gas can in. Let's take the plane again.
Maybe this time we leave George behind?
What the? No way.
I just thought, maybe if you stayed behind, we'd get a secret Easter egg where the plane doesn't crash into the bridge.
Yeah, instead the AC unit T-shirt cannon will do a secret special Easter egg where a drone strikes a children's hospital.
Okay, fuck you, George.
Hey, fuck me? You're the one that started it.
Well, I'm the one ending it. Both of you did it. I bet I can drone strike and crash planes better than both of you.
Donnie, I don't know if that's something you want to talk.
It's just a joke, Joe. I'm not going to do either of those things until I'm president again.
This guy genuinely belongs in Alcatraz. Also, another Brutus is spawning.
Oh, sure, Josh, hurry. Come on, bro.
I got the max ammo.
I'm cocking my gun.
Shit, how did Brutus just whip your tomahawk at him? It does a ton of damage to them.
Man, I can't see anything. What the hell? I'm down.
Donnie, you have mastermind. Revive yourself quick.
Well, thank you, Captain Obvious. I wasn't sure what I was going to do there.
Hey, always here to help.
All right, the Brutuses are dead. Time to go back to the prison.
Is it Brutus's or Brutus?
Gee, I don't know, grammar nerd. Why don't you tell me?
There's no way Brudai is grammatically correct. Brutus is a name. That doesn't even make sense.
Way to go, Bumpin. I was trying to convince Donnie it was.
Oh, as if I'd ever fall for that. My grammar is very much the good as ever.
This killer, I don't even know how to respond to that.
Don't have to. My epically awesomest grammar speaks for itself. Now let's grab those gas cans.
I got the one in the warden's office.
Just picked up the docks can.
Guys, help me. There's a Brutus on me and he just locked down the box.
I just knocked off his helmet. Oh shit, now he's aggroed onto me.
You got him. Hey, Donnie.
Well, no thanks to you. Could have used a hand there.
2,000 points to unlock this thing. Damn, maybe taxation is theft.
I'm putting the infirmary gas tank in the plane. 2 more gas tanks left to pick up.
Man, I got booty ass box left. This shit just gave me a DSR 50.
Hey man, don't sleep on the DSR. That thing goes crazy on multiplayer. Plus, there's a cool Easter egg you can do with that gun on this map.
Stop the cap, Rock. There is no cool DSR Easter egg on this map.
Yes, there is. I'll even show you. Go to the roof where the plane is.
Oh man, I can't wait to see this Easter egg.
All right, come behind the plane.
Where is this so-called Easter egg?
Okay, so come over here and scope in on those fireworks in the distance. That will trigger the Easter egg.
Oh, come on, that is the biggest logo. Jesus Christ, what the fuck was that?
Ha 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 ha! That was the Easter egg, dummy.
Remind me to never do any Easter eggs you tell me about ever again. Now, are you going to put that gas in the plane?
All right, I'll gas up the plane. Man, your reaction was priceless.
Johnny, you gotta admit, that was pretty funny. And he was right, there was a special DSR Easter egg.
Okay, it was kind of funny, but not that funny. I'm getting old, man. You could have given my ass a heart attack.
If anything, that would have taken it from funny to fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a rhyme. Let's just kill Donnie for shits and gigs.
Oh, come on, Don. If you did it to Joe, you'd be losing it.
Yeah, okay, you got me there. My train is fueled up and ready to go. Come on, boys.
Maybe after your glitching
President channel takes off, Donald, I'll make a prank channel. We can prank Joe by giving him a heart attack.
You'll prank me by what?
I mean, by showing you a relaxing video of a car driving through the trees.
Oh my God, that was a classic.
Oh, okay, that sounds like fun. Poor Joe. So old, so confused. The perfect target.
Now you're making me uncomfortable. Said every 9-year-old who ever met Joe Biden, oh God, stab me up, Barry.
Not only are we playing online, so I couldn't dap you up even if I wanted to, but there is no way I'm going to dap you up for that.
Whatever, man, I'm going to kill you all during the boss battle. I thought you guys said there wasn't a boss battle.
Don't worry, it won't be much of a battle. We'll get it.
That's what you think. I'm going back to prison so I can do something inmates.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here too. Waiting in zombies.
So what's the next step of the Easter egg?
I got to input all the prisoner numbers into the elevator. Barack will advise me before next time adjustments.
I'm here, just let me know.
This shit is boring as hell. What's the next step?
Okay, I'm done. Pull me on, Barack. Joe, if you think this is boring, get ready for the next step. Because it's just picking up audio reels and listening to them. Please tell me he's guilty.
No, it's legit. Here's the first one.
Wait, why is the game on black and white? I'm losing this guy.
So they get on the plane.
Wait, so you're telling me the next fucking step is to ride the plane again?
Yeah, we build the plane so we can ride the plane, so we can ride the plane, so we can ride the plane. Doesn't that sound like a fun Easter egg to you?
I mean, you have to remember this map did come out 10 years.
Still better than any zombies trade arc was released in the last, 7 years.
Yeah, okay, you got a point.
All right, everyone get on the plane. Let's ride together one last time.
I feel like a Sith Lord. I'm shooting lightning out of my hands like Palpatine.
You're about old and wrinkly enough to be Palpatine.
If Joe is Darth Sidious, then I want to be Yoda.
Guys, can you please focus on the Easter egg? We need to defeat Trump.
Oh shit, I didn't even realize he was Weasel. We are so fun.
That's right, you fools. I was the boss all along, and now it's time for you all to die.
Stay behind cover and watch out for the zombies. They only attack us now and not him.
Don't worry, boys. I got this. Big mistake, Sleepy Joe. Down you go. He got me, guys. Revive me.
I gotta say, Joe, stay safe, Barack.
No, George. Don't go out there.
Too easy. Come on, Barack. 1v1 me.
It's not much of a 1v1 when there's a shit ton of zombies on me.
I can see you over there, Barack.
I'm getting swarmed. My shield just came in. Hella clutched them.
Easiest drag of my life.
Have a face full of ray gun, bitch.
Oh, shit.
You like that? Oh, shit. Some zombie just downed.
No, let's go. The cycle is broken. I win.
Congratulations, Donnie. You really showed us how it's done.
Thank you, my good friend.
I'm joking, dumbass. Joe and George both ran out like idiots, and I died to the zombies, not you.
Look, I had the most kills, though.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how Joe pulled that off.
Well, Joe just texted me and said it's past my bedtime, so I should probably hop off. See you guys later.
Damn it. I wanted to show you the creepy jump scare card you're with.
You'll get your chance. Anyways, I gotta go get Michael a massage. Give Michelle a massage.
Cracker Barrel, the premium cheese to elevate your needs.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, continuing the things you may have missed in Elden Ring series, we're going to be covering Stormvale Castle. I've broken this down into 12 tips. What I essentially ended up doing was just reviewing every single part of the castle. So this is basically a full walkthrough of every area of the castle, including pretty much every missable item, bar some pretty obvious ones that you will just come across as you're progressing through this area. There's a few more minor ones right at the start, and then it gets really sick towards the middle of the video. So firstly, from the grace right outside of the castle, obviously you can go through the door in front of me and you'll come across Gusta, which we will talk about shortly. But before that, turn right. You can run down these steps and see a very obvious foam calling finger remedy. However, when you're on your way back out to the grace again, look to your left and you'll see there's a wooden platform you can jump on. When you get to the end of this platform, you'll be rewarded with a few fire bricks. It's not the most awesome item we're going to see in this video, but it's a nifty little hidden area before you even get into the castle, so I thought I'd include it. Then just teleport back to the side grace or run around to get back where you started. Now, for the next tip, we're going to be talking about Gatekeeper Gostoff. He is definitely not missable, but what you do with him is.
Firstly, if you kill him now, that's not the worst idea, honestly. A little known fact that a few people may not know is that every time you die in Stormvale Castle, if Gossop is left alive, he will come and loot your corpse and steal some of your runes. So you can find that when you come back and reclaim your runes, you're picking back up less than you died with. Because Gossop fucking steals them. So if you want to kill him, you'll stop that from happening. Also, later on in the castle, which we'll touch in a later tip, he will trap you in a room with a particularly tough enemy. However, again, if you kill him now, you can't be trapped. But despite all that, I recommend leaving him alive, because in the most recent patch a few days ago, FromSoft actually gave him a proper quest line. I haven't found out what it is yet, but I'd say leave him alive, and hopefully someone may even know how to progress his quest, or if not, we can find out together in a later video. So that's it for Gatekeeper Gostock for now. We'll revisit him again later on. Okay, on to tip 3. The next few small areas are very self-explanatory. Kill a bunch of urns, get to the next place. You'll find yourself walking up a big wooden platform, but before you head up the stairs, which is the next area of progression, you want to head underneath them, through this room full of barrels and boxes. There'll be an enemy at the back who shouldn't be any problem for you, and then you'll find a pretty juicy dex weapon. The hook claws are great because they're crazy fast, their bleed build-up is really good, and because they have no particular affinity, you can apply any ashes of war you want, and any grease that you want, so they can have any scaling, any elements, any ashes of war. They're very versatile for bleed-based dex builds. Carry on working the way up the platforms, just be careful for the enemies with fire bombs and all the exploding barrels around. There's nothing that missable around here though, so I'm skipping ahead to the top just as you get to this door. Now this is where, if you've left Gostock alive, like I have in this video, you'll see he closes the door and he traps you in with this enemy. If you die to the enemy, don't worry, because what it will mean is that now that you've already triggered the trap, you can come back in and fight him normally, and you can cheese it and bait him around if you need to. But if you do manage to beat him by fire, congratulations, well done. You can then go and grab the loot in the room, which is a carved sword talisman over in the chest over here. And then more importantly, the rusty key, which is going to unlock the door to the next area. So then you can head out and open the door that Goss Twat closed on us, and the only one. Tip 5, we have come to the first very juicy, very missable area in Stormvale Castle, and it includes an optional boss. After you've used the rusty key and worked your way up through the next part, you will eventually come to the Rampart Tower site of grace. Now you want to just head outside and be very careful of these birds, because as we all know, birds are an absolute nuisance as it is. These ones all have explosive barrels tied to their feet, so they will bother you and will do an extreme amount of damage. You can head over to where I have and hop over this ledge and then drop down. There's nothing around one side, however, come to the other side and you can drop down onto a very small ledge and shimmy along. Drop down again to pick up a very mediocre shield that you're probably just going to sell. And now you can drop down again, and again, and again. Oh my god, what have you done? You fall, you're going to die! Oh no, it's okay, we're fine. Holy Jesus. Okay, kill the scout, grab the ashes of war before they run away. Storm Assault, never used it, but looks pretty cool. And now be very, very careful, because there is a crucible right here. And if you fall for one in the Evergel, yeah, I know, I said it right, I said Evergel, holy crap. Thank you everyone in the comments that called it out. Yes, if you fought the Crucible Knight in the Evergel in this way, you'll know these guys are insanely fucking powerful. Or you can just cheese it to death with poison arrows like I do. Once he's dead, you'll be rewarded with a very mediocre fate spell and, like, no souls. So that's really good. But, yay, well done you killed the Crucible Knight. Now just head towards the end and you'll see there's a lift that will pop you up back at the side of Grace that we were just at the start of this tip. Congrats. I'll skip the next little bit of the castle because it's pretty
pretty self-explanatory. Eventually, you'll find yourself in this room here, and there will be a grafted Scion boss. Once he's dead, you can grab the Highland axe off the corpse at the foot of the massive picture at the end of his room. Just be careful of the dudes on your right-hand side. There's a few mobs there that you want to clear out. And then what I'm going to do is just talk you through all of the rooms and all of the missable things that connect to this main hall to make sure that you're collecting all the items that you can. So, turning back around and facing the other way, go through the room at the end on your left. There'll be a couple of dogs in here to kill. Some of them might drop loot. You see I've got a lot of flesh. But the really good reason for coming in this room is the Crimson Hood, which is one of a few pieces of headgear in this game that actually increases your stats. So as you see, when I equip it, my vigor increases, and therefore my health increases. Plus, looks kind of cool. Now head out of this room and turn immediately left. You'll find another lift which will take you back up to the site of Grace we were at just a few minutes ago. I let it go up just to trigger the contraption so I can use it as a shortcut later, but I jumped off again because we don't want to go up there yet. Now you can head out and go through the next door on your left, turn right, you can grab a level 2 solid smithing stone, and then as long as you've got a stellar sword key, you can go through this room here. Now be careful in here because there's 2 massive exiles with the giant axes. You'll see I fumbled big time here, because I need to get you have to manually get rid of the message that says throwing sword key lost with use. So I wasn't able to sword by sword. So I just look at it and like, how does this work? And then it hits me. Cool, so when they're dead, you can grab a shield and a dagger. I've never used daggers, so I can't comment, but this one does have 140 crit, so I'm guessing if you're stacking crit, if crit builds are a thing in this game, then that's kind of cool. And then most importantly, an iron wet blade, which will unlock more options for you as you're doing your action report. And then there's a pointless dead end ledge with an enemy that I let completely gank me as I tried to get out. So kill him dead, and then you're done here. And finally, if you head back into the main hall again, where the grafted silent boss was, go out the far left door here that you see me going through. You can take the next left again, just be wary of the enemy weights again if you're at the top, and then you can grab 10 arrows off the corpse at the end. Then finally, hop back down and look out of the door in front of you. You'll see a courtyard full of exiles with swords and flamethrowers and crossbows and all sorts. What I would advise doing is just beelining it through the courtyard, maybe hug the edge or run through the middle to break it up. Where you can see I'm holding my phone, there is a site of grace inside that room there. Sprint to there, light up the site of grace, then it doesn't matter if an enemy follows you there and kills you, because you lit the site of grace, so you'll respawn there. Then you can rest to reset all the enemies and you can clear out the courtyard from back to front. Right, I'll leave you there and we'll go on to tip 7 where I'll clear out the courtyard and show you all the items in here. Once you've cleared out the courtyard, there's only a few items of note here. Just run around and get all the loot. I won't specifically call out anything unless it's really important. So once you've cleared out all the enemies and got the loot from the towers and stuff, the only really important thing here is this painting. So head in this room here and grab the prophecy painting. And essentially how the paintings work, you want to find the area of the world where you can see this exact viewpoint, this exact perspective. And if you're stood in the right location and your screen looks exactly as is detailed in the picture, right where you're standing will be a spectral artist sat on his chair with his easel in front of him. And when you get near him, he will disappear and there'll be some loot in his place. Some of the loot from some of these paintings is really good, honestly. Sometimes it's an absolute pain to try and figure out where they're sat, so I won't judge you if you Google a few of them. I know I did. And also, you'll find there's another one of them statues, like we saw in Nimbrace, that's got stepping stones in it. When you get right near the end of Stormdale Castle, there will be a big giant that can smash it open. Unfortunately, the ogre sat in front of it can't smash it open. He's not strong enough to do so. I think that's exactly why they put him there, to trick you and make you think that he can. So I'll revisit that in a later tip and show you the giants that you have to bring back to smash open the statue to get access to the stepping stones. And the final area of importance off the courtyard, as you're facing back down the main stairs, you want to head to the right and you can go in a little tunnel, and in here will be a few rats that you can kill, but more importantly is another big open area. Look down to the left-hand side of you, and you'll see a load of exiles on the lister. However, before dropping down and clearing them out, go back the other way again, look round to the right from where you just came out, and you see there's a ladder leading up. There's a series of platforms and ladders, enemies and loot up there. Go and explore that at your leisure, and I'll move back over to the next tip once you've explored that area. There's nothing really missable, there's nothing of note, so I'll leave you in tip 8. Now that you've cleared out all of the platforms and rooftops, come back down the last ladder that you went up, and you'll be in the area you see me at now. From there, you can go back onto the wooden bridge and jump over like you see me doing, to take out the guys with the ballista here. Work your way along, killing the guys with the ballistas, and then you can hop down and work your way down the stairs back towards the front gate. Clear out all the exiles here as well. And once you're done, you'll come upon this massive wolf beast thing here. After just taking out as many exiles as you have, you're probably quite low on healing and mana, or FP should I say. So sprint past him and get inside the room, and you'll see there's a great sight not too far in. Once you're rested up and you've got all your healing items done, you can go and try and tackle him if you want. He is a bit tough, but he is also cheatable. And when you kill him, you'll be rewarded with a solar splitting stone, a beast blood, and some old fangs. You can now continue heading back down all the way to the main gate. And you'll see there's a site of grace just to the right-hand side in another room. In there is also a lever that will open the main gate for you, and then you can go and loot the bodies in front of the main gate that will give you a few golden runes. Just be very careful if you didn't opt to clear out the ballista guys, because then you will fuck your shit up. At this point, if you want, you could also go back and speak to Gustav. He's now become a merchant. Though the items that he sells are quite rubbish, honestly. For tip 9, you've probably seen at the lift-side chamber site of grace that we unlocked earlier, there's a locked door, and it says it can't be opened from this side. It's at this point that we're going to use the lift that's in the room. Even though the lift isn't currently on your level, this is one of the few lifts in the game where you can pull the lever and it will actually work without you needing to trigger the first. So pull the lever, jump on the lift and head up, follow the path you can take, and eventually you'll come to a few of them living jars on your left-hand side. You may as well kill them all, because when you do, you'll see that you now have access to 2 cracked pots, which is great for anyone that's making use of consumable items on your own route. This does actually unlock a shortcut to the end boss to dodge in, but we're going to leave all that for now, and I'll come back to that later. So now, run on the wooden platform that I'm on here. Grab the cookery off that body, and then you can jump up onto the ledge against the wall. You then want to make another particularly annoying jump onto that ledge. Once you're through there, head right and go through this door, through that next room, and then out up the stairs. Be careful not to fall off and back down where you just came from. There are 3 level 2 smithing stones on your right that you can jump onto the ledge and grab if you want to. Now head back the other way, looting the items as you go. Clear out this room full of the Goster-looking dickheads. You'll be able to grab a decent tower grey shield from under the stairs once you clear the room. Now out here is another mini platforming section. Hug the left wall and jump onto that little ledge again. Jump down again, jump down again. If you very carefully jump, you can get the level 5 golden rune of the corpse on this wall here. And then finally, after all that platforming, just run along here and up these stairs, and you are now on the other side of the door. And that brings us to tip number 10. This whole new area is just unlocked, and we'll go through what is in this area in the next tip. At the top and the middle section of this area, there's a few maps around and a few items. It's all very self-explanatory, so I'll let you go through it, and I'm just going to beeline it to the bottom and talk you through the important bit. So I'll meet you there. Once you're down here, there's a few rats and a few more items. Again, I'm just going to sprint through and get to the good bit. Okie dokie. When you jump down here, you will face the ulcerated tree spirit mini-boss. Though he is stronger than quite a few regular bosses in this game, he can be an absolute beast. He's so erratic and his attacks cover such a wide area. Feel free to try and beat him if you reckon you can. I'm sure you will absolutely smash it. If I can do it, anyone can. However, he is cheesable. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of this because I only found out about it after I'd already recorded this. But I can talk you through most of the steps if you are struggling with him or just want to cheese him anyway. You're going to need to sprint past him as quick as you can, hug the wall so that when he bursts up out of the ground, he doesn't knock you over, climb up the ladder, and once you're at the top, jump off, because these are steps that you need to do anyway. This is the way that you go once you've defeated him. Then, once you jump off, immediately do a 180 and go through the stone sword key room that we opened earlier. Kill the few enemies in there and go out onto the platform with the exile with the torch. It's still a dead end, nothing to change. However, now with the boss is spawned, if you look directly below you, you'll see the boss is below you. You will need arrows or some kind of consumable. Firebombs work brilliantly. Died in about 12 to 16 firebombs, depending on what your stats are like. Just drop items on his head. Just kill him with fire and arrows and magic. It really is that easy if you want to cheese him. Right, we'll now move on to tips 11 and 12 and wrap up the rest of the area. For this next tip, head back to the Rampart bonfire, and where we unlocked the Crucible Knight shortcut lift earlier, head to the right and run up the stairs. Be careful because there'll be an exile with a spear in front of you, and also one with a crossbow shooting you from behind. So quickly take them both down, and then hop over to where the crossbow guy was and grab the throwing daggers. Now you want to run towards where the other exile came through, and you can run either left or right. There's nothing missable. They both loop around to the same exit. There's about 5 more exiles out here, and unless you can smoke the guy with the horn, he will signal them all to attack. But you've fought enough by now, you should be absolutely fine taking them out. Once you've killed them all, come back to the wall with the sandbags when you enter into the area. And it's time for another platforming section. Follow my path to jump down, and eventually you'll come to 2 level 2 smithing stones. Come back round to where you jump down, and you'll see this big nasty bastard here. I know we've dealt with a lot of damage up to this point, but he's got about 3 times the amount of health and double the damage of all the others. So snipe him or cheese him if you can. If not, just kill him before he kills you. The only bit of loot here is a gesture that you can grab if you want to. And then head back over the rooftops again and jump up where you see me going now. Kill the 4 exiles in this area and then climb up the ladder. Out here you'll find a claw talisman, which is incredible because it increases the damage you do with jumping attacks, which is a technique I need to use in this game a lot more than I do because it's great for staggering bosses. If you target right, and even jump onto the other roof as well, but all that's there is a lot of damage, and then we're going to fly them before using that to kill them. So feel free to just head back down the ladder. And that's it. Now we'll move on to the final area and get into the boss. Back at the lift-side chamber, site of grace, head into the courtyard, and this time go left. You'll see a few more birds. I'm sure you know how to deal with them by now. You can swing round to the left and go up the stairs to kill an axe-wielding exile and get a smithing stone level 2, and then continue onwards and go in the room on the right and you'll encounter Nefeli Lu. I won't spoil exactly who she is or what her story is, you'll find it out yourself, but what you do need to do is exhaust her dialogue, and then you can summon her to help you find Godric. Also, on your way out, don't miss, in the left-hand corner there is 4 smithing stone level 1. And then just outside, on your right-hand side, is a golden seed. Now you'll come across the giant who you need to lead all the way back so that he can smash the statue for you. Every time I've done this, he has just ran straight back with me, but he was really a right bitch this time. So I'll do a bit of a time loop here so you can see me trying to bait him back to the statue. I also forgot to kill the ogre and the dog, so what we also try and deal with all 3 of them at the same time. Somehow miraculously, I don't die. And then you're rewarded for your efforts with 5 level 1 smithing stones and a level 2. Now head back up the stairs behind where the giant was. On your right-hand side, you'll see a little room with the site of grace, and on the left-hand side, you'll see one of the summon statues that you need to activate if you want to use player summons for this boss. Once you've rested at the site of grace, as long as you exhausted Nefeli Lu's dialogue, you'll see her summon sign appears on the right-hand side, right in front of the boss gate. You don't need to summon her to progress her quest line. I actually advise against it, because she will double the boss's health, just like summons always do. And she's useless. She just stands in front of him and dies. So if you need someone, you've always been used to it, actually. You can use players if you need to, but I reckon you can solo it, you've got this. As always, I'm going to try to spoil the game as little as possible for you, so I won't show you Godric. I'll let you experience him for the first time yourself. But that's it from me. Please let me know if any of these tips help. It genuinely really interests me. I really hope that all of these videos are actually helpful for people. And let me know if there is any other Awesome.
million of us in Canada. And I don't always understand everything. But our system, the rule of law, is fit for that. Justice, fairness, and equality are our blue, and they're ours to protect.
No Edvinson, no problem. The Detroit Red Wings have won yet again, stomping on the Winnipeg Jets 5-1 on the road. With this, the Wings are now at a total of 69 points this season. They are atop the Atlantic Division, and they are tied for second in the NHL. The Lightning ended up losing earlier today to the Columbus Blue Jackets 8-5, which opened the door for the Wings to take the tie. And with Detroit beating Winnipeg 5-1, it was obviously a fun night. Now, the funny part is, I'm on NHL.com, and they say here that Connor Hellebuyck was the second star of the game, despite the fact that he had an .867 save percentage and a .408 goals against. He allowed 4 goals on 30 shots against, and you can say what you want about the quality of the saves that he had, but second star over John Gibson? That's a choice. Anyways, let's dive into the goals. Let's dive into how the Wings played, because they were the better team in this one. There's no question about that. They also did pile on the offense in the third period, totally overwhelming the Jets and just saying, hey, we are winning this game. Because 10 minutes into the second period, you had the first goal scored by Cole Kopecky. It was right off the face-off here. The Winnipeg Jets win the draw back. Puck is thrown towards the front of the goal. It takes a weird hop, finds itself out of the stick of Kopecky, and as he's driving by the front of the net, he's able to get it by Gibson and a score. It was 1-0 for a very short amount of time, because just 5 minutes later, you had J.T. Compher, a guy who admittedly has been really turning it up as of late, bringing the game back to evens. The Red Wings enter the zone, they get an initial scoring chance, the puck finds itself behind the goal, and then it pops back out in front. Kopp throws it to Compher, who's right there on the doorstep. He takes a couple of whacks at it, and it inevitably goes by Connor Hellebuyck, who's just sitting up. He's front. Same J.T. Compher was able to get things going in the third to give the Red Wings the lead. 1 minute and 43 seconds into the third period is all it took for the Red Wings, Emmett Finney, JVR, and J.T. Compher to score on a 3-on-2 rush. It's a really nice passing play back and forth. JVR goes back up to Finney, and then he throws it across to Compher, who makes no mistake beating Connor Hellebuyck on the cross-crease play. It's a nice 2-1 goal. 7 minutes later, you have Lucas Raymond, who scores on a really interesting play. He tries a little wraparound behind the goal. The puck takes a weird bounce. He had Marco Kasper on the side of the goal trying to whack it in from up top, but inevitably the puck is still loose on the post side, and Raymond is there to bury it in. Again, Connor Hellebuyck finds himself sitting on his behind, complaining to the referees, complaining to his teammates as to why that goal went in. And I'm going to be honest, it was really difficult for Connor Hellebuyck to stop that. The puck was just up and everywhere. He tried to knock it down, it deflected off the crossbar, and inevitably went inside the goal. You could definitely understand the frustration there, but hey, for the sake of my fantasy team, and for the sake of the Red Wings, thank goodness Lucas Raymond gets the 3-1 goal. Alex DeBrincat made it 4-1 on the empty net. Also another big boost for my fantasy team. And then after, while the goalie is back in the net, just 30 seconds after it became 4-1, you have Lucas Raymond and Marco Kasper capitalizing on a 2-1 odd man rush, with Hellebuyck still in the frame. It's Marco Kasper who comes right in and he buries it. This guy has been working really hard the past few weeks, months even. He has been so unlucky, so unfortunate in the way the points have not seemed to come. He had a great season last year, but now taking the initiative, finding the shot, just being able to beat one of the best goalies in the world on a 2-on-1 rush and not defer to Raymond on the other side. That's a pretty good progression there compared to what we had seen most of the season out of Kasper. If there's anybody who deserves better fate this season, I'd say Marco Kasper is right at the top of the list. So good on him for getting the 5-1 goal. With Looking for a career with skills advantage, no one built to last. Skilled trades and technologies offers practical trades, strong pay, and limitless potential. Skills Canada BC helps you explore these paths through hands-on programs and competitions that open doors to new possibilities.
Discover a career you're passionate about and create a lasting impact. I'm Sherry Collins, and to learn more, visit skillscanada.bc.ca and start building your future today.
Reliable, unstoppable, famous worldwide. That's Ski-Doo four-stroke engines, built to take a beating and tested to extremes. Watch madness turn to magic beyond the build.
And that's all she wrote, folks. The Winnipeg Jets just got totally smoked here. The third period collapse that nobody really expected, but that I don't think anybody's really too surprised about. We did say earlier in today's show that the Jets are one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League, so Detroit had themselves a good opportunity. That's 5 out of 6 points here on the road trip, which is pretty good. Not gonna lie. The team has been winning games. They were able to do so without Simon Edvinsson, and despite the fact that they were shorthanded, they were still able to take it to the Maple Leafs, the Senators. Sure, they needed extra time to win these games. They got extra time against the Wild too, but unfortunately they lost that one. And then this time around, 5-1 versus the Winnipeg Jets. It's a pretty good time to be a Detroit Red Wings fan, I would say. John Gibson showed up. He did what he needed to do. It wasn't fancy. It wasn't too extravagant, but he still stands tall. And the Detroit Red Wings now is one of the top teams in the NHL, period. There's only one team that has more points than the Red Wings this year at this time, and that's Colorado. Granted, they have an 8-point lead, but still, there's a lot to like out of this game. And I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this win?
There's 351 games played at the Jets. So the Jets are climbing, the Red Wings are soaring, and we are officially underway between Winnipeg and Detroit. Delighted to have you all with us tonight. You've seen what we're talking about. Here on Inside Vicinity, we're showing on the same ring of the field. And finally, it's covered up by Connor. The hockey world being played against one another. Coach Chicago wants to All right, let's let the guys go back to the draft here. Was so highly thought of, and there was some concern that where would he fall inside of that top 10? And of course, the Detroit Red Wings jumped up to the fourth in that 2020 draft, and he has proven to be worth his weight in gold, that's for sure. He is their leading point producer so far this year, 56 points through Detroit's first 50 games. Face-off, Detroit with possession, and Robinson on target, but now must find back in 53 so that exactly. To the middle of four seats, it's a bounty, it's a mercy, it's still so the same, Detroit doesn't give it up. To the effort from Somerville, 6-4 at the zone. He covers up the rebound. It's Sutherland. Into the pocket. Taylor Pearson calls for him. Back to the line. And here's a shot that's hanging out of the stop. Here's Shetland. Police cleans up on the head. Taylor Pearson. So, stop. Detroit 1 for 3 against Winnipeg. competitive between these two teams. Put it home. The Sire, Raven gets it back. The Sire, one timer coming up on the stage. No, touchdown. We have to go to the next one. Here goes the other one. It goes to the counter. Just gets a piece, get off the blocker, set it behind. Up and over the field. See Lowry is looking, Copper goes down, feeds the points, and he just spin there. Copper gets the it's in the way. Copper gets the center. Dorsey. That's it. Drive and drop. Drop it. It's a front there. Snyder is there. $13.72 points, 504 goals. Surpassed earlier this season by 100 goals. Get ready to get back on the ice. Here's Ryan. Get it in the pocket. Take it to see where Snyder. Just around. Stop flying. Over there. Right after the box, it goes to the net line. The corner, but runs out of real estate damage. I have to go to the backhand, so then I can pay the spinning. Insane. He hangs on. The car. Vladdy, can't get it done. You're watching Hockey Day in Canada. So better to go to the top of the club than his 21st season coaching in the NHL. Big shot, nice. Yes. Start with the draw with Aaron with the draw. He says, you know what, I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to extend myself outsider who had the body but not the stick of Kepke. And Kepke does a good job fighting through this check here. Off the knee, thank you very much. This block shot helps him come to the play. Now this is an opening. We see us is blocking to the network. There's a full strong recover. Looking to be after that block shot. And Copper is able to have his way in the net line. Helpa tried to deny a pass out twice. And Copper stuck with it. The resiliency that Coach Collins has talked about pays off for Copper. And he picks up the goal. Just keep backing up right. Inside the post up in the end. We're in a volcano to test Finish Ultramax against tough, burnt, and unstable. Finish Ultramax breaks them down, cuts streaks, and boosts shines for the ultimate clean, even on the toughest stables.
It's impossible for superpowered individuals to perform the major motion pictures of the world champion of all. Some of it's to say with the Global Television's Motormax, streaming January 27th, only on Disney Plus. And
that are going to play for the Olympics and what that will mean to teams when they come back from country. Take this pass from behind. Sweep it to the front of the net. The Conqueror is going to the net. And a little break coming back to the Hawkeye on the coverage. See down there, that pass goes to spinning from behind him. He takes it all at once. Little smooth and sends it over the Conqueror, and Conqueror up there. Some insurance. Let's do believe and how much it disbelieve. And how that confidence numbers rated on the team. It's got to be able to they're down there looking at it. They're trying to get a sense of whether or not this thing is. Somebody's getting the snow. So the 4-1 here is to bring it, puts it home. With 1:49 to go in the third period, of the season for the Detroit Red Wings. From the back end of it, the Conference. This does a good job waiting around this over to get it into the
Fuck me, franchise center right here. Two players from the packs, really. Ooh, but Russian sniper. Oh. Ooh.
The block is, he now takes it to the middle of the ice, says, I'll come into options. I'll not deep in the net. And Casper says, I'm going to keep this one myself. You got it. Final score, a victory for the Red Wings. The Bruins are Canadians. In Canada.
The Great Spears are going to be the last of the poking attack type weapon classes that I do cover, and these are actually going to be really good and probably one of the best ones at that. Obviously, the fact that these are poking attack type weapons means a bit of piercing damage, and typically poking attacks tend to hit at further distances and come out pretty fast. And for the Great Spears, they're going to be the slowest of the bunch, but they're typically going to have the most range, obviously hit the hardest, do some nice stance damage. Their one-hand options pair very nicely with a shield. Two-handed, they're going to be very good. Even power stance they perform very well. Being that this move just actually hits simultaneously, it can actually happen a lot of damage. They probably also have the best crouching attack power stance combo in the game as well. And being that there's lots of different class types of the beams that actually boost your rolling or crouching attack damage, just making a build just centered around this can be viable. Now, Great Spears also do get a plethora of really good weapon skill options, being that they actually do have poking attacks and have access to full-on types of skills. There's lots of amazing options out there. Now, unfortunately for the infusible Great Spears, the Sword Lance exists and just kind of just outclasses them in almost every single way. The Sword Lance is a heavy thrusting sword, but it gets the same heavy attack moveset as the Great Spears, and it literally just gets more damage as well. Like the Sword Lance is going to straight up out damage every single one with almost every single infusion, but there are going to be some cases where you would rather want to use the Great Spears. But if you want to go like an inherent thrust build or a guard counter build, the Sword Lance is probably just going to do those things better. But sports maybe are going to look at them from worst to best based on how well informed and how useful they are in just for PvE. Starting up at the bottom of the Blood Fiends and Sacred Spear was one of the new ones from the DLC. Now this weapon is obviously very comparable to the Ballwood Sacred Spear, and yes, for the most part it's going to be directly out-fast plates, but it does have some few things going for it and some things that just make it completely terrible. Now the Ballwood Sacred Spear does actually get more range and get it early on the game
and it is just a much better skill as I will get into. But the Blood with the Sacred Spear does actually get much more bleed build up, like its higher amounts of arcane distance gets over 120 bleed, whereas for the Mulwood Spear only gets just 90 bleed build up, and also the Blood Beast gets a better arcane scaling. So with a pure arcane but at higher levels, this thing can just hit harder as well. Now Mulwood does get a better strength scaling, so when going into strength and arcane, that one is going to be the better option. And despite its bleed build up being pretty good, a bleed infused Mesmer Soldier Spear or a bleed infused Sword Lance are still just going to get higher amounts of bleed. But the fact that this thing is a sport arcane build is going to be very useful. Now, another annoying thing about the weapon is that for some reason it just gets less stance damage compared to all the other great spears. Like with every single attack, it just gets lower amounts for some reason. Like the charged heavy attacks do just as much as a regular spear. I don't know when that's the case. Maybe it's because it's like the lightest great spear in the entire game, but that definitely is a downside. So for me, I think the only purpose of this weapon is to make power stance alongside the Mulwood Sacred Spear. For whatever reason, if you actually wanted to have a power stance, this is going to be the only other option, because you can only get one of these per playthrough. But outside of that, I wouldn't care to use it because its skill is just awful. It is like a very similar version of the Mulwood Sacred Spear, but the difference is that this one actually does go to actually travel in a good distance. It actually like shoots up the AoE instead of surrounding the player. But the AoE is like 5 times as small, does way less damage, it's staggering basically nothing, and it does much worse bleed for them for the exact same FP cost. Like the skill is just useless. Like I'd be just better off using the Mulwood Spear instead. Number 9 is the Vibes War Spear, which this weapon is definitely meant and built for PvP due to its madness properties. Madness also does basically nothing in PvE outside of fighting NPCs, which are a lot of NPCs, especially in the DLC, so it does have some uses, but for the most part I still wouldn't really care for it because it is going to be the shortest great spear in the entire game, and it gets the worst damage as well. Like the base damage is very low, let's get like an okay dexterity and base scaling, but basically every other great spear can just get more damage than this and just get more range. It does get a horizontal swiping heavy attack, which can be good for variation. Unfortunately, this horizontal swipe does actually get less motion values, meaning it's going to get less damage with like the regular floating attack heavy, but having more variety is pretty cool. But the main reason why it's going to get lower on the list is because its skill is just borderline useless. It does sort of like this fire-based AoE attack, and this fire AoE just does very mediocre damage in like a somewhat long animation. It actually does shoot out the AoE as well, so it actually can serve as like a little bit of a projectile attack, but the damage is just not that good. And also against like a lot of larger types of bosses, the skill can straight up bug out where the explosion just doesn't even occur, and you're missing out on like 90% of your damage, so the thing is just basically useless. Like this weapon skill has always worked like this, it's always been bugged. I don't know why they haven't fixed it at all. Mainly because it is a PvP weapon, in PvP it works perfectly fine and it's not bugged, but in PvE, like it's just kind of shit. Number 8, the Free Spin. Now this weapon couldn't be infused, it would just be an S tier option because it gets an amazing heavy attack. But thankfully they actually did make an infusable version of this in the DLC, in the Mesmer Soldier Spear. Like this weapon gets the exact same heavy attack, but it can be infused, so that one is just going to be the direct upgrade. But that's not to say that this one is actually useless, because this one can be acquired very early on in the game. It does get a dexterity and fate scaling, does get primarily combat dexterity stats, and unfortunately it does require smithing stones and cannot be infused, and it just gets stuck with a non-unique skill, and this non-unique skill is Sacred Honor, which is like a button box to probably get more damage, but potentially does really good charged heavy attacks as they do this hit multiple times, and it definitely is the best charged heavy attack for the great spears, and some of the best in the entire game. But another funny thing about this weapon is that you can buff it as well, and the Sacred Order skill overrides your weapon buff. So it's like kind of counterintuitive to even have this thing as a skill, and you're just always going to be better off just using like a regular weapon buff, or just going on things like Border's Blade because it already does get some split holy damage. It's just probably going to be better. Like I would have rather this thing have basically any other skill but this one. Like it does sound like a nice early game option to have Sacred Blade if you wanted to kill those death birds, but if you are just using the weapon itself, it would have been nice if this thing had like any different type of damaging skill. Number 7 is the Spear of the Impaler, which this thing can actually be like one of the best weapons to use, and sometimes it can just be one of the worst things to use. So I think it kind of just balances out to like be a solid B tier. But it does get very respectable range, very decent damage. It does get very similar scalings to the Vike's War Spear, but it can just hit harder due to its higher base damage. It does actually get a very high dexterity requirements, but being able to access it in the DLC, not going to be that big of a deal. But in terms of its weapons skill, Mesmer's Assault, it can be one of the highest damaging skills in the entire game. Like hitting this entire combo can just shred everything, and it doesn't really consume much MP in doing so. Now the problem is with this skill is that it's such a long animation that a lot of bosses, especially in the DLC, are just not going to let you get the combo off. You're either going to stagger you out of it, or you're just going to take so much damage that you're just not going to win that trade. Now if you're fighting like enemies that can be staggered and that are going to let you get the attack off, this can just be utterly devastating. So typically when you're using a skill like this and fighting enemies that actually give you smaller openings, you probably will be able to just use your charged heavy attacks instead. But the thing is, this weapon's charged heavy attack is just useless. It sucks so bad. It is going to be a heavy projectile attack, which means it's not going to consume any FP. But the trade-off being is that it does terrible damage, consumes your entire stamina bar, does awful stance damage, and it's like a great waste of time. Charged heavy attacks are typically going to be your best way to proc stance breaks, especially with really large weapons like this. But this thing only gets 8 stance damage on a fully charged heavy attack, which is just awful. And you're doing like so much less damage as well. Like it is nice to have it as a projectile option, but typically you're going to pay this long so that faithful anyway. You actually are going to have some projectile options already accessible. And your skill actually kind of does serve as a projectile as well, but the first part of it actually does go pretty far. A lot of people don't really like see how far the projectile does go, but I will just use this instead. Because yeah, this heavy attack is just heavy. If it wasn't like a regular normal 20 heavy attack, I would put this up into the 80. Number 6 is the Bob Star Speed. Now this weapon is basically just like a pure fade type of great speed, does with holy damage, and it's going on to fade can actually net you a decent amount, like compared to all the other types of fade-based builds. This one can just out-damage them with these pure fade builds. And on top of all that, it actually does get passive bleed. It is only 55 bleed build-up, and with a great spear, it's probably not going to proc it as fast. But it's having the ability to potentially just proc bleed once in a boss fight is obviously going to be really good. It also does get to the same heavy attack as the Spike Sword Speed and the Glorious Free in that nice horizontal swipe, which as I mentioned does do a little bit less damage, but just having the variety is there. Now thankfully this weapon does have a really good skill that complements the weapon perfectly, which is going to be a really nice projectile, really easy to use, comes out very fast. It also does do a decent amount of damage. I feel like it could have been a bit more damage, especially with how much FP that it does cost, which is about like 6 FP for every single tick. So when you're holding onto it for a few seconds, it ends up consuming about 30 FP, and sometimes it feels like the damage is not enough. Like it shoots out all these projectiles, but half of them just straight up miss. I don't know what it is, but it only hits with like 1 or 2 for every like 5 projectiles that you shoot out. It still is viable damage, but I think which was more. But thankfully it actually also does proc bleed as well. It probably is just a bug and it's always worked like this, but actually does do a little bit of bleed build-up. When you are holding onto it for a few seconds, it consumes about 30 FP. It does do roughly 100 bleed build-up, which is definitely not much. But if you are in the middle of a boss fight, you can definitely proc bleed at least once with this thing. So yeah, overall, I think it's a good great weapon. It gets a good break skill, you get access to bleed, it's a nice projectile attack that's easy to use and goes pretty far. It's a solid A tier. Number 5, the Lent, which actually is the lone infusible spear in the entire base game, and the fact that it is the only one that you connect fire in the base game is just going to make it very useful, because great spears are a nice weapon class, and they get access to a bunch of different really cool unique skills, and being that this weapon class actually does hit the most amount of stance damage, depends on only one of the great spear that can be infused, but you can farm it, means you actually can get multiple of them, and it actually is just going to get more damage with basically every infusion, and get to the better heavy attack as well. So yes, it is ultimately out fast, but you definitely can do the entire base game before you can go into the DLC, and the lance can just carry from start to finish. That's number 4, the Serpent Hunter, which this weapon does get probably the best moveset out of all the great spears in my opinion, and it is going to be another weapon that performs very well in the base game, and it is a very popular level boss because it doesn't have any requirements. Now this is a weapon that cannot be infused and just only get strength-based scaling, so you definitely are limited in build creation with this thing, but you still are going to benefit of amazing damage and a really good moveset. It does give you the cloaking or crouching rolling attack, which these attacks come out very fast and still do some decent damage. It does get a really cool jumping heavy attack that it slams with like the entire length of the weapon, which typically for great speeds only get like a small little poke, which doesn't really get much range. And it also does get the horizontal stopping heavy attack. So the entire moveset just has very good variation. Now with this type heavy attack, it is going to be very similar to like the Silurius Tree, the Bike Sword Spear, and the Bob Star Spear. And with those weapons, they actually get less motion values with their heavy attacks. But for some reason with the Serpent Hunter, it actually gets boosted motion values. So this thing can make for one of the best hard attack type weapons in the entire game. The heavy attack does come out faster than the other heavy attacks, and it just does way more damage. And with the charged heavy attacks, they're actually very easy to build around, be that all items that you need for them are very early on in the game. And even if you don't have an opening long enough for a charged heavy, you're still going to have a good opening attack moveset as well. Now I think the most unfortunate part about weapon is probably going to be its skill. The skill actually isn't bad by any means. It is like a very, very long animation that doesn't really have much range. You're probably going to get hit almost every single time you use it. But the damage is actually very good. It does almost do piercing damage.
And it actually does a decent amount of stance damage too. Now typically just going with a regular charge heavy attack build is just going to result in this like higher DPS and it's more consistency, less stamina cost, and probably just more stance damage quicker as well. I would have liked for this weapon skill to retain somewhat of a projectile attack, kind of like how it can be used in the boss fights. Obviously not have anywhere near as much range, but at least I can extend that by like a few times the amount. It would have been nice. If that was the case, I probably would have put this weapon into the S tier, but it still was definitely deserving of an A tier. Number 3, the Silurius trigger a strength faith-based holy weapon. Does actually scale better off the strength stat, more so than a faith stat, but going either or can just be perfectly fine. If you actually wanted to utilize more spells, you can still go into faith, and you can still get some very viable damage. The weapon does get like the regular great skill movesets, but maybe horizontal slapping heavy, just like most of the other faith-based spears. Like there is 10 great spears in this game, and 5 of them scale on faith for some reason. Then I didn't get a full like intelligence great spear, then I didn't get a faith-based katana, but we're not going to get into that. But yes, this weapon is actually a really good, mainly because of its skill, Silurius Woe. For 25 FP, it does do this like little short-range AoE attack, and it's definitely not really much damage, and it's not really worth the 25 FP. But when you have it fully charged, it definitely is, but it turns into like this massive projectile attack that goes very far, has a wide AoE, can hit multiple enemies at once, and it do a decent amount of damage, especially paired alongside things like the Godfrey's Icon. And best of all yet, the weapon actually does scale up AR, so going into either strength or faith is going to help boost the damage. And as I always mentioned, projectile attacks can just cheat the game, and this one can just go incredibly far. You don't have to engage with an enemy, you just sit further back and just keep spamming the skill and everything's dying. But even if you do end up getting in these close range engagements, it's going to be a weapon with a good person and some good damage that you can't really go wrong. Number 2, the best means of Soldier Spear. As I mentioned with the Lance, this is just going to be the upgraded version of that, as it is going to be the only other infusable great spear in this game, this one is being in the DLC. So basically once you get to the DLC, you just switch to this one because it just gets more damage, basically the exact same range, refinements, weights, and the better heavy attack too, which is going to be the best thing about it. It does get the same heavy attack as the Tree Spear, with its full double poke. Which is double poking attack isn't really that much slower than like a regular poking attack, but it's just going to get way more damage. So especially for charge heavy attack build, this thing can just be ridiculous, whether you press it alongside all that resolve, try to blade, you're just going to be destroying everything. Now, if you're going to be using this thing outside of a charged heavy attack build, unfortunately, it's going to be outclassed by the sword lance. Because the sword lance does just do more damage. So if you actually want to go with like a weapon skill spamming build, do some poking attack skills, or going with a guard pattern build, that one is just going to be the better option. But speed episode does fall under the great skill weapon category. You are going to get access to the more different types of skills, like spectral weapons. So that is the best area alongside that skill. And also, if you just want to
best season so far.
You just have this one as a top end option. Because you can make this thing like strength interviews or things. And you can do it that way as well. It's something that gets good damage, good scalers with basically every infusion, and just an amazing moveset. As number 1, the Logwin's Sacred Spear, I'm sure nobody's surprised. Yes, this weapon did get nerfed as of the DLC releasing. The AoE does actually get a lot less blood loss build up now. And to make sure that it actually wasn't tripping, I still put in this thing at number 1. I made sure to go around with it recently because we used the weapon skill, and it straight up is just very everything. The weapon is still amazing. It gets the most range across, gets really good scannings, obviously gets that passive blade build up, and weapon skill is just OP. This has like this massive AoE attack that can hit any enemy surrounding them. It stun locks them all, does amazing damage, good blade build up, actually can do some OP kind of stand damage as well, especially if you're the entire combo. It does consume 60 HP, but it definitely is worth it. Like the damage is just ridiculously high. It might not be like the best skill to use against like certain types of bosses, they don't usually like these longer openings, but it still can be like trade out with. But when it does come to fighting like trash mobs or going to latest dungeons, there's like quite literally nothing better than this AoE. It's just like so easy to use, and it just kills everything instantly. Anyways, that's now done and completed. As always, let me know if you're getting down in the comments below. The next weapon is going to be the outputs that is next in the list, and it's going to keep going down. We're almost done, but there are a lot of outputs, so that will definitely be a longer cut of video. But definitely do subscribe to us. And yeah, catch you guys around. Bye.
At Save On Foods, our new Unreal deal is on.
Heavy attacks, because this heavy attack can just outdamage all the other ones. Like, it would have been so cool. But unfortunately, Bob Operators like completely forgot about the server and didn't really care for us to have fun with it. Number 8 is Starline Sword, which is one of the new ones from the DLC, and I don't even know why this one has to exist. Like, we now have 4 like split magic-based katanas in this game.
where you've been scaling up the intelligence stats, and you haven't had a single fate-based katana at all, in this game or any of the other Souls games, it would have been so much better if it's like a lightning-based katana with a fate-based scaling, but instead it's another magic katana with a dexterity and intelligence-based scaling, so it has to compete with a Moonveil, which is never going to beat Moonveil, because it has got a lot more damage, and it has a much better skill, because yeah, this thing does get a pretty decent dexterity skill, but only gets a 2 skill and intelligence. Now thankfully the skill does scale up AR, so it's got all of the dexterity and just boost the damage of it, but the thing is the damage is still not that good. It can help stun blocks more, it has to increase the entire skill combo, and actually can form somewhat similar to things like double slash or like the Rivers of Blood skill, that extends the range and does like a nice 3-part combo, but there are some things on the stylines that I don't really care for. The first couple of things are okay, but once you get like the third and the fourth swing, there's like a little bit of a delay, and it gets staggered out, and also it gets like a final spinning attack. For some reason, this attack does like just as much damage as like the entire first part of the combo, but it takes forever to get there, and you actually do become partly invisible, but this animation doesn't actually get any iframe for some reason. Like the entire combo can be pretty nice, but if you could just do just as much damage with this entire combo, then you could with like a couple of Moonveil attacks, and only consume just as much FP, and do it in a much quicker time. Like the other looks really cool and flashy, and it's still very viable, but it's basically outclassed by so many different things in their stand, and I would have liked it a lot more if like a fate-based katana instead. I'll tell you about how I would buff the weapon. The skill could definitely use with a speed increase for like a second and third part. It's definitely eye-breaking by the last part as well. If I just let it have like a better intelligence skill, that would be nice. But even then, if all those things were to happen, I still wouldn't really care to use it over the Moonveil. Number 7, the Dragon Scale Blade, which is another dexterity-based katana that cannot be increased. This is actually the only katana that actually doesn't come with a passive status effect by the weapon itself, but actually does gain some frost build-up when you use this skill. Now the skill itself is like a recent version of Lightning Slash. It's not going to be that high damaging, it is a pretty short range with another type drama, but the whole purpose is to just boost the weapon with some more lightning damage and more frost damage, which this is actually a very decent buff. It boosts it by a whole bunch more, and it turns it from being like one of the worst damaging katanas in the game to one of the higher damaging katanas. The thing is, it still is only 80 frost build-up. You do this one with like a regular Fuji katana or a Kazukiba with like a cold infusion, it's going to get you like over 100 frost build-up, and also give you some passive bleed. I would have liked to do something to this also retain bleed while just having frost, because honestly it wouldn't have been that broken. So the katana overall can just get some okay kind of damage, it can get some frost build up, but it also does get some bonus damage against some dragons as well, which is pretty cool. I feel like I would have liked something a lot more if it has had that passive bleed as I mentioned, and it has had a different type of skill, because this weapon is very comparable to the dragon halberd, and that it is a pure physical weapon that can be buffed with some frost lightning, but that one it has like a much harder hitting skill and can be buffed for cheaper in a quicker animation. I feel like I would have valued this a lot more if it had like a lightning version of Flaming Strike instead of being like a reskin version of Lightning Slash. So it's like a decent katana overall, but it just misses a few things in my opinion. Number 6, the Rivers of Blood, which yes is one of the more popular weapons, if not the most popular weapon in the entire game. Yes, it has been announced a long time ago, but I feel like people are now like in 2 separate camps. There's like one that's certified as like the best weapon in the entire game, and there are other people that sort of listed as a nerf to the ground. But in fact, it actually is a very decent katana that might be outclassed by other weapons, but it does have enough going for it for it to still be a very solid A-tier. Now, that weapon does get a nice dexterity arcane-based scaling. It does get a lot better off that arcane stack, so there's going all into it. It is going to benefit you of more damage and obviously more blood loss build up alongside having good synergy with the dragon commuting seal. Now the AR weapon can get pretty high, but it still is split fire damage. So going with like an cold infused Nagakiba or Fuji katana with the same build and same stats, those weapons can just output more damage. Now the skill of the Rivers of Blood Cold Pilot is like a reskin version of Double Slash. Basically it is the exact same animation. Now the difference is that Cold Pilot does actually release an extended projectile part. Actually does like extend weapon by like 3 times the amount. Now this projectile part obviously doesn't do anywhere near as much damage or anywhere near as much blood loss build up as hitting with the weapon directly, but it still is like some nice chip damage at a distance that can perform pretty well. Now the thing is, if you are using things like Double Slash and another keyboard and going with like a high arc in a cold infusion, it can just do more damage, it can do more blood loss build up, it is going to consume like a third amount of the FP, and obviously that weapon can be infused so you can go back and forth between different types of skills. Now as of the DLC, there is actually the existence of the Arm Spark set, and this actually does boost the skill of the Rivers of Blood, that doesn't actually boost Double Slash, and it actually is a 14% damage boost, and with this, it actually does make it do a little bit more damage than another keyboard Double Slash. However, if you do put on things like the Rakshasa armor set and the White Mask, which is going to be like the optimal like armor set for a lot of blue weapons, the Naga keyboard and definitely the Uchi Katana are just going to do more damage. Especially if you are surrounded by water in the rain, or even fighting enemies with the fire damage, which there are a lot in this game. The Rivers of Blood is going to be somewhat a downside in that area too. So basically the main reason to use the Rivers of Blood is it is kind of the Dodo option, and also it's kind of one that's easy to upgrade too. But in almost every other instance, I'd just rather use things like the Uchi Katana or another Keyboard, and then switch back and forth between a bunch of different skills. It's not going to be as easy to upgrade because obviously it requires smithing stones, but you can get it a lot earlier in the playthrough, and it's just going to perform better in my opinion. At number 5, we have the Hand of Millennia, and at number 4, we have the Sword of Night. Now, I normally don't talk about two weapons at the same time, but these ones do perform very similar, and I kind of want to compare them side by side. Now, there are both pure dexterity types of katanas, both get passive bleed, both are required towards the end of the game, one of them being in the DLC, and they both do get a very similar skill that can hit many times in quick succession, stun lock enemies pretty well, and just do some nice overall damage. Now, the Hand of Millennia is going to have a bit more range, roughly the same amount of weight, and also get a bit better damage. The Sword of Night does get higher AR, but some of it is actually split magic damage, so in most cases, the Hand of Millennia is just going to out-damage it, which with the dexterity build, nothing else out-damages the Hand of Millennia anyway, unless you do it through like weapon buffs. Now in terms of the move set, the Sword of Night does get the same heavy attack as a Serpent Bone Blade, in that full double swiping attack, which as I mentioned, is going to do more damage than all the other heavy attacks, and as of the recent patch, it actually does come out very fast now. Now the problem that I have with this heavy attack, with this weapon in particular, is that the weapon skill already does get a nice sideward swiping attack that can stun lock enemies.
I like to have my moves as complements to the skill, and this one just kind of clashes with it instead. This other one would have benefited much more than having like a regular poking attack heavy, but unfortunately there actually is no poking heavy attack with this katana. Now as for the skills themselves, I do prefer Witching Hour Slash over Waterfowl Dance, but they both do have their pros and cons. Now, Witching Hour Slash is a nice 3 hits combo, whereas Hand of Millennia is actually a 4 hits combo. Sword of Light does get a bit more bleed build-up, and actually is going to be a bit more expensive. And Hand of Millennia with its 4 hit combo is going to have better synergy with the multi-hit talismans. It also is going to get a bit more damage, but it does have a longer animation, and it consumes a lot more stamina. Now, the Hand of Millennia actually does get the option of follow-up attacks. You can get a second and a third additional input, and these don't consume much FP at all, and getting the entire combo off can result in very high amounts of damage. Now this is obviously going to be better against enemies that can be staggered, because against enemies that cannot be staggered, it's probably not going to go very well. It's a long animation and very high stamina cost, so it does make the skill very situational, which is kind of why I like the Sword of Light a bit more. It doesn't actually get any follow-up inputs, but the skill does cut pretty fast, and it does have the option of a charged version as well, which the charged version does actually make it do more damage and make it do more stance damage than the Hand of Millennia, all while also getting a bit more bleed buildup. Even if you do include all the multi-hit talismans that are probably going to work better with the Hand of Millennia, the Godfrey's icon just like pushes this above way further. Now when fully charged, the starting animation might be a bit longer, but it does actually lunge in pretty nicely, which I think is like the most underrated part about the skill. You can like wait for an enemy's combo to finish and just lunge in as they finish their animation, and it can make one of the more satisfying types of skills to use. It is like my personal favorite katana in the entire game for that exact reason. It makes it have a very high skill ceiling and makes it good and viable in every single boss fight. I did like an entire playthrough using just the Sword of Light skill, and my entire playthrough was extremely easy, whereas I did a playthrough with the Waterfowl Dance only, and I cannot say the same. It is a lot more situational, even though Hand of Millennia can stun lock better and is a lot more FP efficient. I think the stamina cost, and also the inability to delay the follow-up attacks, so you have to like use them instantly, otherwise it will just end the combo, just make me gravitate more towards the Sword of Light. Even though it does get a little bit less range, less damage, and a slightly worse moveset in my opinion, I just think the skill can be just used universally, so I just consider it to be the better option. As number 3, the Uchi Katana, which is the highest damaging katana in the entire game, and you can acquire it right at the beginning. It has low requirements, doesn't weigh very much, and it is one of 2 infusible katanas, and katanas can get amazing weapon skill options, especially things like Unsheath, which is like one of the best skills in the entire game, and as of the recent patch, it's just gotten even better because of things like the Rolana's cameo. Now, I still think that the Nova Kibo is like the direct upgrade to this weapon, even though it does get a little bit less damage, it just gets the better moveset with its heavy attack pokes both one-handed and two-handed.
two-handed, and it just gets much more range. Now, normally when I do consider something directly outclassed, I still wouldn't put it into the S tier, but for the Uchigatana's sake, I still think it's useful enough for it to be considered an S tier, because there are some people out there that don't really care much about the range and just want to have damage, which the Uchigatana is just going to be that option for you, and I think it's extremely low requirements compared to the Nagakiba is going to be the biggest difference too, because Nagakiba gets a 22 dexterity requirements and an 18 strength requirement, so if you actually wanted to go with like an occult infusion and go high into arcane, or go pair it with a magic or a faith type of build, you're going to have a lot of stats that you have to spec into just to build the Nagakiba, where it's just going to be a lot more efficient, and you're probably going to end up saving about 10 extra points if you just went with the Uchigatana instead, and also this benefit of more damage. And there's 22 points that you would put into dexterity with a Nagakiba, you could just put those into things like health instead. So although I don't personally consider it to be the best katana in the game, I could see why somebody would. Number 2 would be Moonveil Katana. Reason 1, it actually is going to be an early starter-based weapon, so it's very easy to upgrade, and obviously its skill is just insane. It is the reskin version of Unsheathed, works the exact same way, but it just turns it into a magic projectile instead. Now, I actually did just touch on Unsheathed and compare it to the Moonveil skill Transient Moonlight in one of my recent videos, where I actually ranked all the different types of stance skills, so I'm not going to really go into detail again, but if you did want like a TLDR, the Unsheathed skill actually does do more damage. It also does do the same stance damage with the heavy attack, but as for the light attack version, the Moonveil can actually get more stance damage, and being that it's a lot quicker, and including with things like craft canceling, you can stance break enemies really quickly with this. And also I think the Moonveil just gets better synergy with the Lana's Canyon, because the Moonveil skill can just be used as a projectile option, that a heavy type just goes ridiculously far. And obviously with the Lana's Canyon, you have to charge up for a second first. Now in most cases when you're fighting larger bosses, you're probably still better off with like using the skill uncharged, but obviously if you have a projectile, you can set it a safer distance, and then fully charge it with the Lana's Canyon, and just benefit of 45% more damage. It's such an easy to use and amazing weapon in this game, that you can put it in the hands of anybody and they're just going to succeed. I think the only unfortunate thing about the weapon is that it still has to compete with things like the Ring of Estelle and the Dex Poker for an intelligence and dexterity based weapon, and it still actually is somewhat outclassed by things like the Uchigatana or the Nagakiba with Unsheathed in terms of damage, but I think its synergy with the Valana's Cameo, the distance that it actually does go, and the light attack version of the skill is enough reason for this thing to be a very high S tier and potentially even a top 10 weapon in this game.
There's a proven way to enhance athletic performance. 5 to 10%.
And that's number 1, the Nagakiba, which is one of 2 infusible katanas. As I mentioned with the Uchigatana, that one actually does get more damage with basically every single infusion, but the damage difference is not that crazy. It's only about like 5 to 10 AR with almost every single infusion, but one big difference is going to be the range. The Nagakiba is like the longest katana in the game, and it's like not even close. This thing just hits at such insane distances, and it's just going to have the speed and damage of a katana, and it also does get the best moveset too, because both one-handed and two-handed is going to be a poking attack. And as of the recent patch, these uncharged heavies are just so much faster, and you can just keep spamming the uncharged heavies any single time that you actually go up against enemies like reaching the fuse damage or really resist the slashing damage. Now, as I've mentioned with the fusible katanas, these get so many amazing options. Things like Bloodblade are one of the best skills in the entire game, because it can just be like a better version of the Reduvia, and putting it with the Nagakiba is quite literally the best option, because it can get some of the most damage and actually get some of the most range too. It actually does get a hitbox with the weapon directly. So we did just cover the thrusting swords, and today we are going to cover the heavy thrusting swords, which are basically the exact same thing, but just heavier. But in all seriousness, these are just more poking attack type weapons. These are just being a bit slower and doing a bit more damage, more stance damage than the regular thrusting sword. They do pretty much get the exact same Asher War options as well, but maybe a bit more for larger types of weapons too. And typically I do this for heavy thrusting swords more overall, because their two-handed movesets are not that much slower, but they just do a bunch more stance damage, which I value a lot. And those running heavy attacks are just incredible. They just cover so much distance really quickly. Now in terms of power attacks and combos, I do not really like them that much either. If I did want the power attacks, poking attack type weapons, I'd rather go with the great spears or regular spears, because those weapons hit simultaneously and just have much faster animations. But in terms of their two-handed moveset, I just think it's incredible. Probably one of the best, if not the best two-handed moveset in the entire game. Now starting off at the bottom, we have the Trade Lion's Greatsword. Now this is not a bad heavy thrusting sword by any means, but it still gets decent damage. It actually has the most range out of all the heavy thrusting swords, and it does get the regular heavy thrusting sword moveset, but I just consider it to be the least useful one, because it's only really good for one particular build, and that's with Fate infusions. Because this weapon does have some split fire damage and come with a Fate scaling and can be infused. So going into a flank art infusion just makes the most sense, because it's going to double down into that scaling, and you're going to get more damage than all of the other heavy thrusting swords with this Fate type of build. Now, unfortunately, this is just specific for like art infusion, because of every other infusion, you're going to get more damage with all the other heavy thrusting swords that can be infused. They're not going to get as much range, but they're obviously going to get more damage, and also have better movesets too. So this one just gets the basic generic thrusting attack because it's heavy. And honestly, even if I was going to go with the Fate build, I'd rather just go with one of the other options like the Great and Tail or the Gunskin Stitcher, because they're actually going to get more damage in a sacred infusion, and sometimes when you fight enemies for just the fire damage, you want to be able to switch to a holy infusion instead, but this one does look really cool. Number 5, the Dragon King's Pike Blade, which is one of the weapons that has been unnecessarily nerfed when the DLC dropped with patch 1.12. This is a predominantly dexterity-based heavy thrusting sword with a very high dexterity requirement. It does get a bit of a strength scaling as well, so don't use it wholly, it's still going to benefit, but unfortunately it doesn't get like a fate scaling, so it's not going to have any synergy with spells. Does this also get the regular heavy thrusting sword moveset, but it's the basic poking heavy attack, but the skill of Undercloud Form is the best part about it. With your 28 FP, you turn into a cloud that can just move through the air, do a bunch of damage, stun lock enemies, and you come crashing to the ground to just do even more damage. Now the total overall damage of the skill is pretty decent, but it's not that high, especially to how risky the skill actually can be. But obviously there's a very long animation, and you basically land right directly in front of the enemy, and you do have like a bit of a long recovery animation too. So in most cases you're either taking a lot of damage throughout, and you do also get infinite high ground, so you're like, you're never going to get staggered out of it. But the thing is, this skill doesn't actually work with things like the multi-hit talisman or the Godfrey's icon if you have it fully charged. If it did work with these talismans, it would be doing a lot more damage. But the best thing about the skill used to be its stance damage, because it used to be 69 stance damage, which is some of the highest in the game out of all skills. But since patch 1.12, it now does 45 stance damage, which is a lot less, and for a long animation, it's not really that good. You can just do a charge attack plus a light attack, and it's going to do more stance damage than the entire skill combo. So the one thing that kind of made the skill a lot more worth it was its stance damage, and that was no longer the case. Like, the weapon was not overpowered at all, so I don't really know why they changed it. If anything, it needed to get buffed to go up with the multi-hit talisman that got his icon, but now it's a lot more underwhelming to use. But as long as they don't have bad at all, because this cloud animation does stagger those larger types of enemies like Knights, Odins, or even like Millennia, and you can just make for a guaranteed stun lock. And upon crashing to the ground, it does like send them flying too. But against these larger types of enemies that do not get staggered very easily, it's very inconsistent, because sometimes the skill can just overshoot its target, destroy its whip, or just not do enough damage. But it also does have the transitive properties of doing more damage to dragons, which are a lot of the items in the DLC as well. So it still is going to be a very useful weapon that is powerful throughout most of the game, but it's just way too inconsistent in my opinion for it to actually be an S tier option. Number 4, the Gunskin Stitcher, which is an incredible weapon, and is like nothing that I can really say bad about it. It's a heavy thrusting sword that gets some of the most damage, and in fact, for certain types of infusions, it can actually be the highest damaging heavy thrusting sword. It also does get a unique heavy attack in its nice little double point, which this double point can just get amazing damage. Pop status effects quickly, can help up the multi-hit talismans, and you can just go into a build with spamming charged heavy attacks, and it can be very viable. And the only reasons why it's not going to get higher is because, one, it just gets nothing but poking attacks. There's no real way to get horizontal swipes, which, as I always mentioned, I just like to have variety in my movesets. That's what I tend to value a lot. Because there are plenty of circumstances where I do wish where I have attacks that have wider hitboxes, because you can't really go wrong with better hit deck. But the main reason why it's not going to get that high is because the sword lens exists. Basically, all the useful heavy thrusting swords unfortunately have to compare to the sword lens, and it's probably just going to lack in every single area except for its running heavy attack. Like, if you did fight on the running heavy attack of the heavy thrusting sword a lot, you could just go with this option. And obviously, it is a lot earlier in the game as well, so it's not going to be useless. Number 3 is the Great Cape, which is another usable heavy thrusting sword, and that's very comparable to the Gunskin Stitcher. There's very similar damage, range, weight, but there are going to be two different reasons why I prefer the Great Cape over the Gunskin Stitcher, and that's one, it gets more damage with a strength build. With this heavy infusion of higher amounts of strength, it's just going to straight up damage the Gunskin Stitcher. And as I mentioned, I think the heavy thrusting swords have some of the best two-handed movesets in the entire game, because the light attacks can be quick, and those running heavy attacks are just broken. And when you two-hand your weapon, it just gives you 50% more strength. So when going into a strength build, you're just going to get way more damage, assuming that you're not already at like 99 strength. Now, if you do actually want to go with some dexterity-based skills, things like Stormblade, Beast Roll, Lightning Ram, or Lightning Slash, they're going to pair better with the Gunskin Stitcher, because that one scales better on dexterity. But as I mentioned with the Gunskin Stitcher, I prefer the Great Cape heavy attack, because it's a nice horizontal swipe, good at hitting multiple enemies, or enemies like to move around a whole bunch. Any instance where you just feel like you just need to have some more coverage in your moveset outside of poking attacks, because you want to have larger hitboxes, then the Great Cape can just do that for you. It is basically just preference, hence them being both in the exact same tier. You can go either way, you're going to find plenty of success. And also to mention that the Great Cape can be applied right at the beginning of the game. It's literally right in Limgrave sitting in a test for you. and they can just carry from start to finish. But the main reason why they're not going to get any higher is because once again, the sword lance exists, and that weapon performs very similar, but just gets stupidly high amounts of damage. Number 2, the Bloody Hellas, one of the better arcane blade types of weapons in the game, does get you a very good arcane scaling and decent dexterity scaling, and at these really high levels, you can just output a really solid amount of damage and proc blade pretty quickly too. It does just get the average heavy thrusting sword boosted, which is the basic potent heavy attack. It does actually get some of the most range in class, but the best part about weapon is obviously going to be its skill, Dynast's Finesse, which this skill for 5 HP does give you an iframe dodge. And his iframe dodge basically has twice as many iframes as like a regular dodge roll. Now it cannot be spammed as easily as a dodge roll, but it is going to be a lot easier to dodge certain attacks with this skill. But afterwards you can actually do a follow-up lunging poking attack, and this poking attack lunges very far, obviously does piercing damage, staggers very well, and does 33 stance damage. Like the fact that it gives you 33 stance damage directly after a really good dodge in an instant is kind of just insane. And also after this poking attack, you get an additional input that lets you do this double swiping attack, which the good thing about the swiping attack is that the only way to actually get a horizontal swipe with this weapon. But being that as a quick little double hit, it's going to complete pretty quickly. It also does an additional 22 stance damage, so this entire combo can just do 55 stance damage in only just a couple of seconds. And since the DLC, this skill actually does get boosted by the Unspark set. The entire set does its boosted damage by 14%. And there are also more additional types of bleed buffs that you can stack on top of this from the DLC on the base game, and it can make for a very fun and broken playstyle. And at number 1, the sword lance, which is just broken. This thing gets more damage than things like great axes and the heavy thrusting sword. Like literally, if you just hit the two-handed sword at 54 strength, obviously having to go with two-handed, it literally out-damages like some of the best strength-type weapons in the game that are slow to miss. Gets more damage than the right turner's blade, Messner's soldier's spear, rusted anchor, great stars. It just out-damages all of those things. And it gets the speed of a heavy thrusting sword. Now that's going to be for its light attacks, because for its heavy attacks, it does actually get the great speed boosted, which is going to be a lot slower, and that can also does extend to the running attack as well, which I don't really like as much, because the heavy thrusting sword running attack just covers so much distance, but the total overall damage is just undeniable. But the funny thing is about this heavy attack, between the heavy thrusting sword and the great spears, they get the exact same stance damage. So the existence of this weapon kind of just makes a lot of heavy thrusting swords and great spears just useless, because it's just going to out-damage all. And also another benefit of having the great spear heavy attacks is that the guard counters are just better. Great spear guard counters are just faster than heavy thrusting sword guard counters. So carrying this alongside a shield or deflecting to, it's going to be good at doing that as well. And the fact that it's the heavy thrusting sword, it means you have to get a lot of the poking attack types of weapon skills. So a lot of these different weapon skills, it's literally best paired alongside the sword lance. Using things like piercing fang or impaling thrust, you're just going to get the most amount of damage with the sword lance. The sword lance essentially becomes like the L2 stick for a lot of different types of skills. And also another stupid part about the weapon, it somehow gets colossal sword types and status effect build up. For some reason, when you pair it alongside bleed or thrust infusions, it just gets more status effect build up than all the other heavy thrusting swords by a considerable margin. So you can just go into a bleed type of infusion, also retain an A scaling in strength, out damage a lot of the other heavy thrusting swords, and just proc bleed like a lot faster too. The only infusion I would pair alongside with is with a faith infusion. For whatever reason, it actually gets like the least amount of damage with a faith infusion compared to all the other heavy thrusting swords, and I don't really know why. The other infusions really like this, it's just with a faith infusion like Flame Hunt or Sacred. But yeah, this thing is just busted. Anyway, that is the video now done and complete. As for the next one, we're going to be covering the curved swords. There is a couple of ones, like roughly 20 curved swords, so it might be a longer type of video, it might take a couple of days to make, but if you are interested, please do like and subscribe, and also do follow me on Twitch as well, because I actually am going to start a Soulsborne marathon, that I go through all the Soulsborne games, because it has been a little bit, obviously the DLC has been a little preoccupied, but it feels like it is a nice time to just go revisit them again. So definitely do check me out there. Anyway, catch you guys around. Bye!
Accuracy matters. Bronze Age precision technology helps guide you with even more confidence. Accuracy is easy.
Are you ready to get tucked in like never before?
Turn yourself into a duvet burrito with up to 20% off mattresses at Sleep Country Sleep Cozy event.
Even the prices are coming.
Party models are one of the more interesting weapon categories to come out of the DLC, as this weapon type actually does fire out a bunch of these range-based AoE attacks that don't consume any types of FP, and honestly, these are actually somewhat underrated, and it's to the point that if these things could work with the multi-hit talismans, these would easily be an S-tier weapon type in this game. But to start off with the downsides, they do tend to get some pretty poor DPS, as the damage of these things only are a bit higher than stuff like curved swords and straight swords, but the speeds of the movesets are just as slow as things like a Great Hammer, and for these slow movesets, they don't really get good stance damage either, which is very comparable to things like the whips. And just like the whips, they also just get no critical attack options, so even if you do manage to get a stance break, you're not going to benefit as much. They also do get like the least amount of actual war options available to them compared to every other different type of weapon category, and they do have their own couple of unique actions that you can put onto these, but overall they don't really have one. And also, as I did mention, they don't work with the multi-hit talismans, which is a shame because this weapon type can actually have the potential to hit so many times in quick succession, but thankfully at the very least it can work with the current talisman, which is a nice alternative anyway, as just equipping this talisman gives it 20% more damage with basically every single attack. And as for the one positives, it is extremely light, only 1 unit per base. Those do have this lingering effect. When you shoot out the perfumes, the hitboxes stay around like 40 times as long compared to any other different kind of weapon in the game, and it's to the point that you can just shoot it out and just have enemies walking towards it. And on top of all of that, it actually gets some of the best range too. They can get more range in things like the fight, and even just as much range as things like whips. Actually, even more if you do hit with the heavy attack. But this charged heavy attack not only goes really far, but does it in a 360-degree radius, so any single time you're surrounded by a bunch of trash bombs, this can clean them out very quickly. And it also is going to be the best way to kill things like knights and omens, as it's going to be like their own move that you can stagger these enemies with. And you can just straight up stun lock and chase all of them very easily. Now, it's not going to be the best in terms of stance breaking enemies or in terms of DPS, so when you have these long openings against some bosses, I would just much rather just light attack spam more so than use the charged heavy attacks. But the charged heavies and even the uncharged heavies do complement the weapon perfectly. But even then, the best part about the entire moveset is going to be its running heavy attack that does shoot out these AoEs to the side of the character, which can be very hard to connect against smaller types of enemies, and it can have a longer animation. Or when you actually use the attack against some slightly larger enemies at point blank range, you're going to hit with the entire AoE complement, and it's going to be doing a lot of damage, especially if you have the running attack buff.
So close. You can push for playoff spot, you win like most half our games.
Boost the damage of the running attack by an additional 25%. It's going to be easy to use, it's going to be doing amazing damage, some respectable stand damage, and it's going to be a way to just melt all these different types of larger bosses. Being that most of these are just pure elemental damage, one, it means you don't have to go through multiple different defenses, and when you're using buffs like the Scorpion Charms or the Elemental Tears, you're going to gain the maximum potential out of these, because you're not getting any split physical damage. So I think these are a very solid primary option, and a very good like secondary option for dexterity builds, being that all of these scales based off dexterity, it just gives you access to all these damage types, but only just having to spend into this one stat. Now the primary models do have two separate unique actions of what you can equip with them, one in Warlock Sparks and the other one being Rolling Sparks. And I do think that Rolling Sparks is still the better option. Yes, even after the nerf, I still consider it to be somewhat viable. But in my opinion, both of these things are actually outclassed by the moveset itself.
Come on, guys.
It might be to the point that things like Quickstep or even Bloodhound Step might be the best option for these. As for Warlock Sparks, I just think this one is just directly outclassed by the heavy attack, as both of these do serve as wide AoE that can like stagger enemies pretty well and do an okay amount of damage. Now the thing is, the heavy attack does basically just as much damage in a faster animation, do more stand damage, without having to consume any FP. Warlock Sparks does still go a little bit further and do like a little bit more damage, especially with the Shadow of Alexander equipped, but it's not that much more, and it's still like a bit too risky for me to want to use it over the heavy attack. And in terms of the Rolling Sparks, it can actually serve as a really nice range projectile. I just think you go really, really far distances. Now the problem being is that the damage is not going to be good unless you hit with like a lot of the different explosions, which typically is only going to be a thing against larger types of bosses. And if you're fighting larger bosses, as I mentioned, the running heavy attack feature is going to be better. It's going to be faster, more consistent, more stance damage, do it in a faster animation, not consume any FP, but the skill does go really far, so using it against larger bosses at these further distances could be pretty good, but against smaller single targets, it's just not worth it, and the skill just does not get any tracking, have like a longer animation, and the damage isn't really quite fair, and it's to the point that you could just use Beast Roar instead, which you can also infuse onto the perfect models, and that skill is just going to do more damage against these smaller enemies, and just go further. But if you want to use Beast Roar, you probably just burn off this equipping that onto a dagger with a dexterity build, because the perfect models, you can only have them standard infused. They're having a keen infuser, they just going to result in higher damage. So yes, unfortunately, the actual options that the perfect models have are kind of mid. But the bottom at the bottom of the frenzy, the flame perfume bottle, this one is the lowest damaging perfume bottle in the game by a decent amount, unless you're at really high levels. So ironically, it actually is the highest damaging one, but it's only when you have like 80 in every single stat, because this thing does have scalings in 4 different stats. But if you are like anything below the level like 300, then I would just use any other perfume bottle. But the reason why it does get 4 damage is because it does come with the madness status effect, which in PvE is one of the NPCs are the only things you can use this on. And if you wanted to block madness on NPCs,
what are you guys doing?
that could just do it better, because the madness bit of this thing is not going to be that high. And being that this is a dexterity based weapon, when you have a dexterity builder, there are plenty of different like skill options available to you that can just help feed all these different types of NPCs. So the use of this permanent model is very niche. Like it is a way to give you pure fire damage with a dexterity build, but the fire spot permanent model can just do this better. Number 4, you killing a perfume bottle, which this is not a bad weapon by any means. And if you actually did want to go with like a primary perfume bottle build, this one might be the option for you. But as I mentioned, perfume bottles are probably best as secondary options, and this one is practically useless as a secondary option. This weapon actually does get you some pure magic damage and a split intelligence skin. If you are going to go with an intelligence build, you already have access to magic damage with all the different types of spells that you can use that are also just really cheap and really quick, and you have other spells that are going to help you pump frost as well, even faster than what this weapon can actually do here. Now this weapon actually does scale a bit of dexterity, so going into a pure dexterity build actually won't give you access to pure magic damage, which typically you don't have access to when you're going pure dexterity. But the thing is that it's like borderline useless, as magic damage is like the most neutral damage type in the entire game. There are very small amounts of enemies in the game that are weaker to it or even resist to it. But as a primary option, it can perform okay. It's not going to get as much damage as things like the fire spot bottle or the lightning bottle. But the trade-off thing is that it does get some passive frost buildup, which frost is an amazing status effect, as it can debuff enemies to make them take a flat amount of damage, and just make them take more damage over the next 20 seconds. Now the frost buildup is not that high, it is only 60 frost buildup, so if you have like a cold infused weapon, it's typically going to give you over 100 frost, but this weapon is a tank weapon, so you can with 2 different weapons at once, so it can do pretty well, and running heavy attack can make you still like about 150 frost in just 1 hit. But the reason why I am going for the other perfume bottles is because those probably just get better synergy with buffs like flame damage strength or other different types of base buffs, and even if you do a cast for the frost debuff, those ones are probably still going to get more damage, especially because you can pump frost with any single type of build. Just throw something like chilling mist after war onto a dagger, and you see that at the start of every single boss fight, and it's gonna pump frost instantly. But being able to do that with your primary weapon option without having to just in any pet peeve does make it very convenient. Also, there's probably one person out there that's going to mention this, but this is not good for a frost fire build at all. Frost fire builds are basically useless and just terrible in almost every single instance, and the perfume bottles probably make for one of the worst frost fire builds as well. Number 3, the Deadly Poison Perfume Bottle, which this is actually the only physical perfume bottle in the game, and the only one that cannot be infused. It does actually get you a split dexterity and arcane-based scaling, and it actually is split even in both. Typically with the perfume bottles, will always scale a bit better of dexterity. So at higher levels, it actually can get some pretty decent damage, but the base damage of the weapon is pretty low. And to the point that almost every other perfume bottle can then spread out damage this one, even if you're at maximum level. And the funny thing is, even then, it actually can get the highest amount of damage. Usually how many pots that you actually can pair alongside with this. It is really light and it does physical damage, so therefore you can use stuff like the Voided Dancer charm. It's actually going to proc Deadly Poison very quickly. But Deadly Poison still isn't like the most amazing thing, but it's still going to be much better than regular poison, and it only does last 30 seconds, so it's better to keep the uptime of buffs like the Kinder Heart Exaltation, Mushroom Crowd, and the Poison Hands. And when you have all of these buffs active, you can definitely do more damage than all the other perfume bottles, but only at these really high amounts of levels, because even if you do have all these buffs active at like 80 dexterity and 40 arcane, even stuff like the fire spot perfume bottle can just out damage it, because those are just going to be pure elemental damage, and using stuff like the fire tier, flame damage strength, and fire scorpion plus can just help you do way more damage. And doesn't require you to have the proper status effects to actually do it. And the fire spot bottle is going to be more useful as like a secondary option with a dexterity build, because one, this one actually does have an 18 arcane requirement, so it's going to require just more stat investment, and it does give you physical damage, which you already have access to with the dexterity build, but it's not an extra form as a good secondary option just to be able to proc poison in general, because its skill as Deadly Poison Spray does proc poison on yourself and nearby enemies in basically an instant, and then you're just going to instantly proc all these poison buffs, and it's helped you do like over 40% damage for the next 20 seconds, which can definitely help you melt a bunch of different types of bosses. And the best thing is, you don't need to actually meet the requirements of Arcane just to be able to use the skill. So if you really ever wanted to maximize damage, you could do something like this, which might be a bit annoying to set up, but it is possible. But yeah, as a primary option with an Arcane build, it is going to do pretty well. But I think things like the Poison Hand or the Venomous Fang, with your other really light weapons that cannot give you access to Deadly Poison, are just going to be better because those open skins output either higher DPS or just much more stance damage. Number 2 is the Fire Spark Perfume model, which this model is actually the highest damaging one at these medium levels. Like if you're around about level 150 or below, this is probably the Perfume model to use. And it doesn't get a pure dexterity scaling, but it's a much better dexterity scaling compared to all of the other Perfume models. And it's only when you get to about like 80 dexterity and 60 strength that the lightning bottle is actually going to help out damage this. And being that it is fire damage, you do get access to things like flame damping strength that has helped boost the damage even further. Now the thing is, there are a lot of different enemies in this game, especially in the DLC, that are very resistant to fire damage. And any single time that there's water around or it's raining, it is going to be doing a lot less damage as well. And still the front that like other current models for this out damage it, but I think that major use of this weapon, and that is probably going to pair perfectly alongside a dexterity build. Every single dexterity build probably benefits of using the Fire Spark Perfume model, because with these shields, you don't typically get access to fire damage, you always get physical damage, and you have access to lightning damage with the infusions, but fire damage is always meant to be for strength. So any single time that you're actually using a dexterity build and fighting enemies that are weak to fire damage, you can just slap on the Perfume model, especially if they're actually larger, things like an Earth Tree at the top, this standard running heavy attacks at point blank range, and everything is just going to get destroyed. It doesn't require much setup, it's extremely light, low requirements, and you're just going to benefit greatly.
Dang.
That's one of the
So close.
As I mentioned, it's not going to get as much damage as things like the Fire Spark model at the medium level. If you want to get to about like 80 dexterity and 60 faith, that you really start to notice that it's doing more damage. But the reasons why I'm still going to put it higher is because lightning damage is the best elemental damage type in the game. A lot of enemies are weak to it, and any single time that there's raining or there's water around, you're just doing like 20% more damage. Hence, this thing has a split fade scaling, so if you have access to all these different types of fade-based buffs, that is going to improve the damage. So if you do want to have like a primary Perfume model, I think this one is going to be the best option. Now, as a secondary option, it's probably not going to do as well as something like that Fire Spark model, because with the dexterity build, you already have access to lightning damage with the lightning infusions. But I do think this one does pair nicely as a secondary option for faith-based builds. And yes, you do already have access to lightning damage with a faith-based build, but one, there aren't many faith-based lightning weapons. So in most cases that you have a faith build, you're probably going to have a fire-based weapon or a holy weapon. And if you actually were fighting some enemies like in the rain or weak to lightning damage, you could just have this in your back pocket and use it in those instances. Because even though some of the lightning spells are really good, they tend to be either one, really expensive, and also just pretty slow. There isn't really like a rich and short-range lightning-based spell, so that's where the lightning Perfume models can come into play. It's going to be quick and easy to use. As I mentioned, running heavy attacks can still be pretty fine, and this is not going to consume any FP. Okay, that is the video now done and completed. As always, let me know what your opinions are down in the comments below. The next video is going to be the great katanas. We're probably going to touch on them, all three of them. We're going to rank them from worst to best. So definitely do subscribe to that one. And yeah, I'll catch you guys around. Bye.
doesn't take. Stay ahead of the market with what you say to the question. Please visit or increase your upside by building multi-leg trades. So you can find your winning strategy. Switch to Plus Trade, get 100 free off.
Trick yourself. And since you're so familiar with my dragon's special ability, why don't I activate it just for you? As I use one overlay unit to raise my dragon's attack to 14,000.
I will not allow failure.
The duel.
Duel.
Well, look what the dark side spat out.
You dare speak to me like that, boy.
Please, you're a relic from a dying franchise, old man. The galaxy doesn't need your kind anymore.
Oh. You act as if you got a choice in the matter. The Empire will always rule the cosmos, and insects like you shall always be crushed under our feet.
Spare me the creepy, evil monologues, thank you. And why do you still sound like a broken vacuum cleaner? Doesn't the Empire offer health care for that?
Health care for cowards and weaklings who have so little faith in their own power that they cling to such a crutch.
Wow. I knew the Empire was evil, but I didn't realize it was that stupid.
No, stupid would be anyone looking to follow an innocent like you into battle.
Right, because your strategy of choke your own guys when upset has proven to be oh so effective. How's that working out for team morale, Dark Chocolate?
I was literally trying to stop that attempt to kidnap your girlfriend that ended with you crying like a bitch after you found out she was dead.
Oh, you did not just go there.
And what exactly do you plan on doing about it if I did?
Stick around and find out, you overgrown asthmatic tin can.
Excellent. He's allowed his emotions to get the better of him, as they always do. Crushing him in the state will be as effortless as when I get to that ball.
I heard that, Anakin.
Good. I want to know you and your declining CP to know.
Okay, now you listen here, you...
Hold that thought. I must deal with this imbecile first.
If you're done dozing off into space, old man, I'll kick this shit off. And since I have no monsters present on the field, I'm allowed to special summon Photon Thrasher. And since I've got a Photon monster on the field, I can also special summon Photon Advancer. Get ready, you old bag of bones, because I'm about to give your circuits a full reset as I overlay my Photon Advancer with my Thrasher. I XC summon Scarlet Lord Galactic.
Oh, shoot. It's only fitting that a monster named after you would be so underwhelming.
Oh, don't be too sure, big guy. You might be surprised at what it can do, because now I'm activating Galaxian's special ability, allowing me to discard both of its overlay units in order to call forth my Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon.
Careful. It would be wise not to exhaust yourself prematurely, though I suppose that's a common issue for you.
You sure have a lot to say for a guy with the emotional range of a toaster oven, but I'll be more than happy to shut you up soon enough as I throw this card face down and end my turn. Hopefully that angst lord thinks I've lost my temper and will set his guard down.
That's all. You may be a fool.